Giants for a second and a fifth round pick.
And that fifth round pick is next year, by the way.
Next year. The voice you just heard, Dennis Cox. I'm Tim Donnelly. This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. The Panthers have traded Brian Burns, which means they've traded Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, Brian Burns, all former first-round picks that you'd consider hits. Right? In a league where first-round picks are not guaranteed to be successful, they had three of them, hits, all traded while under 26 years. 26 years old or younger. You can't blame Dave Canales and Dan Morgan for DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey, but this Brian Burns trade is on them. The return, how much you got back for Brian Burns, is on them. Now, I'm not expecting them to get the two firsts and another pick that were reportedly offered from the Rams a year and a half ago, but you needed to get a first. You needed to get a first. I would have settled for 2 twos.
Maybe a 2 and a 3? All right.
I would have reluctantly accepted a 2 and a 3. I would have gone, okay, if that's the best I know this is not the best they could do. I know there's not. Let's open up the phone line, see your reactions a little bit to the Brian Burns trade. Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. Doug from Raleigh, our first caller. Again, 919-860-5326. Doug, thank you for calling in. What do you have to say about the Burns trade?
They have got to be the most poorly run franchise in the NFL. That is the most ridiculous trade I think they've ever could have made. That was worse than the Christian McCaffrey trade. It was horrible. They are in for 3 years of just terrible football after this point. They have no chance of winning anything, especially now that Kirk Cousins came to Atlanta. They're in a lot bigger trouble now. That Atlanta team is going to be the team of the NFC South for about the next 3 or 4 years, easy.
I hope. Appreciate it. Do you know what was my favorite part about that call from Doug?
It was all energy.
The staged laugh to start it off.
Yeah.
Right? Like the beginning of the movie scene where they're like, everybody just be laughing when the main character walks in. Ha 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 ha. I'm sorry, what'd you say? This is terrible. I'm not that over, but I'm right there with them. Me and Doug are living in the same neighborhood. Mm-hmm. We might not be next door neighbors, but we're in the same development. We're in the same school district. You only had a few pieces, the Panthers did, that anybody wants, right? You can't sell any of them for a discount. Brian Burns was one of them. You had to milk it for all it is worth. You didn't do that. Let's hear what Adam Schefter has to say about the deal Burns got from the Giants, which is lucrative.
Brian Burns is going to get the deal that he wanted, that he's been looking for 2 years now, right, from Carolina. They've been unable to get a long-term deal done. They're finally able to get a deal done in this particular situation. And so Brian Burns is on his way to New York to play for the Giants in a huge deal that it will involve draft pick compensation.
Money, 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 money. Do you know what's the funny part about it? That's very much one of those Rorschach tests, the ink blot test, right? Either you looked at it and said, well, of course the Panthers weren't going to get anything for Brian Burns because the Giants had to turn around and give him $1 trillion. Or you can look at it and say, the Giants valued him as the second most valuable edge rusher in the league and say, how in the world did you only get a second and a fifth for the second highest paid edge rusher in the league?
You know what the mind-boggling thing is now? It's just dawned on me, especially after Doug's call.
We're still having new realizations. That's how crazy this is.
What's a more premium position, running back or edge rusher?
Edge rusher.
Okay. So for your running back, you got a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth. But for your edge rusher, who's that highly paid, you got a second and a fifth.
The thing is, it feels very much like Dan and Dave, the Dungeons and Dragons duo, the Dave Canales and Dan Morgan brain trust.
The alignment.
That's not bad. The alignment.
I kind of like that one.
So do I. The alignment was so dead set on moving on that they didn't do the negotiating thing, right? I used this example earlier. I woke up today. Calvin Ridley still hasn't been signed, right? He's a free agent. And it seems to be coming down to the Patriots, and it seems to be coming down to Jacksonville, where he played last year. And I woke up this morning, and it was the Patriots are involved, Jacksonville's involved, and the insider said a mystery team. Ooh, a mystery team. Guess what mystery team means? It means the agent is trying to drum up interest and bluffing. The Panthers had to do some bluffing. Giants, we got a call on the other line. You better come up to that second and third. You better come up to that 2 seconds. We got a call on the other line. If you really want Brian Burns that badly, which they do because they paid him $1 billion trillion, you better beef up your offer because we got a mystery team on the line. And then you answer a phone call. Guess who it's from? Person sitting 2 steps down from you. Remember Drew Rosenhaus?
Yes, I was thinking the exact same thing.
At Willis McGahee's draft table, they were calling each other from the opposite side of the round table. Do whatever you got to do. And I'm being half joking here, but I am serious about you have to create a market for your player, especially when you are the only, or that player is one of the only things that you have to build value. Now they're entertaining Chase Young. Do you see this? Tom Pelissero said Chase Young is going to visit the Panthers.
Cool.
Now, it's not 1-for-1 because he's not going to be as expensive. But what are we doing here? Right? When I say what are we doing here, I'm saying go watch Chase Young's tape. There's an effort problem. Brian Burns, right? You can't speak out of both sides of your mouth, right? You can't say, he's a Panther. He's done everything right. He's a dog, which is we've heard from Dan Morgan and Dave Canales, right? Mm-hmm. Now his future is up in the air, but he's this, he's that, he's this. Everything that you say you want in a team, and then go, but we took the first and whatever offer we could get for him, a second and a fifth. You can't speak out of both sides of your mouth and then entertain Chase Young, who is not a play every play to the whistle guy. Physically gifted, but you can go find the film. There's a couple loafs on his resume.
Yeah, there's a reason why the Washington Commanders did not pick up his fifth-year option and then traded him away for a late third-round compensatory pick.
This is the first time I'm looking at Dave Canales and Dan Morgan and saying you need to do better. Up until now, it felt like they were cleaning up everyone else's mess, and they were trying to do it here, but they didn't do a good job cleaning it up. It's the first time I'm looking at them. Now, I mean, are we giving them strikes? All right, this is like a foul tip, strike one. It's not the end of the world, but you're behind in the count. Do better. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Hey, everybody, especially those of you in Knightdale, but everybody around the Triangle. The newest Academy Sports and Outdoor store is opening in Knightdale this March with the best in sports equipment, outdoor gear, apparel, and footwear from the brands you love, all at low prices every day. All the weekend warriors out there, the serious athletes, the youth athletes, the weekend warriors that think you're serious athletes, we all have that, still are what we once were style of memory, right? They carry a wide selection of trusted brands. We're talking Nike, Adidas, Brooks, Carhartt, Blackstone, Yeti, Titleist, Shimano, and more. Join us when your new Academy Sports and Outdoor store opens on Monday, March 18th, that's this upcoming Monday, right there in Knightdale. Plus, don't miss their grand opening celebration the following Friday, that's March 22nd, through Sunday at 216 Hinton Oaks Boulevard. In the meantime, you can still visit their Apex location and check them out at academy.com with free shipping on purchases over $25. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will be back with this. Kevin Keats and the NC State Wolfpack take on Louisville in a Tuesday ACC basketball game in just about an hour and 20 minutes. Is Kevin Keats coaching for his job? Next.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem killing helpline 877-718-5543.
Wow. Check out all the great deals right now on brand new 2024 vehicles at John Heister Chevrolet. Like $3,000 off a Malibu RS or $4,000 off the Silverado 2500 High Country. With a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in, you can get your hands on an Equinox LT for up to $5,500 off. A Blazer RS up to $7,000 off, or a Silverado RST or 1500 Custom for up to $9,000 off. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Arena. Together, let's drive.
It's time for another Gold Rush, North Carolina. It's Victoria Vodnecker, and BetMGM is now live. Download the app today and wager on your favorite sports from anywhere in the state. From the mountains to the Outer Banks, the king of sportsbooks is ready to take your game to the next level. Discover exclusive offers that help you pick your perfect parlay. Check out the latest boosted odds specials. Take advantage of fan-friendly daily and weekly promotions. Make every game and moment matter when you make pregame and live wagers on all your favorite sports. Bet with confidence on the BetMGM app. Easy-to-use technology that makes betting fast and convenient. Don't miss a slap shot, a slam dunk, or the biggest college tournament of the year. Make every play mean more with BetMGM. It's showtime, North Carolina, and the ball is always in your court with the king of sportsbooks. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. North Carolina only. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Hey guys, sound familiar? Your energy's not the same. The weight's starting to creep up. You're a little forgetful. And to make matters worse, you're not sleeping well. Well, it could be low T, but you shouldn't go one more day dealing with these symptoms. Help is available at QC Kinetics. They'll help diagnose the issue and get you back to feeling like yourself again. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. They use biologic treatments encouraging your body to optimize the hormone levels you need to boost stamina, provide more mental clarity, and improve your metabolism. It starts with a complimentary consultation and comprehensive exam. One quick office visit, and you'll have next steps to swing those hormone levels back into balance. All using the protocols QC Kinetics is known for around the country. Most importantly, you'll be back to yourself, and that's important. So call right now for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. Located in Raleigh, 919-400-5473.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen. Your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Today, for those of you that celebrate, happy ACC Tournament opening day.
Let's go. Game's on right now.
There is a game on right now. NC State coming up in about an hour and 15 minutes. As it sits at the moment here, we have Notre Dame and Georgia Tech playing, and Notre Dame has a nice little 12-point lead. Georgia Tech might go down as the most confusing team in the country.
Well, there's that.
They beat Duke. They beat Carolina. They beat Wake at home. They're getting beat by double figures by Notre Dame, and they were the 13th seed. That's the ACC for you this year. But I want to talk about the NC State game coming up in a little bit. State Louisville. Kevin Keats' job security is as much a business decision as it is a basketball decision as it sits currently. Right, Ed? I've had reporters ask me. I've had fans ask me. I've had other friends and family ask me, is Kevin Keats coming back next year? And it takes about 2 seconds for the conversation to go from, well, 2 out of 7 NCAA tournaments isn't great, to what's the buyout? Can they afford the buyout? Can they afford the $5 million or whatever exactly it is to pay him to go away? And then on top of that, have a decent enough budget to go sign the next coach. It's like, all right, well, everyone's obviously aware this is a business decision. Kevin Keats has a hefty buyout if NC State wants to move on from him, and to save $5 million, you can talk yourself into a lot of things. right? If you're like, A, we have to find $5 million to fire him, or, you know what, I actually think he's doing a pretty good job. We get to keep the $5 million, and you know what? I think if he gives them another shot, they were in the tournament last year, right? It hasn't been that long. A couple transfers didn't work out. Give them another shot, right? You can talk yourself into it as long as the money is in the back of your mind. But, right, there's always a however. However, if you lose to Louisville and get knocked out of the ACC tournament on Tuesday, the basketball, I believe, will overtake the business, right? Your hand will be forced if you're Boo Corrigan, where you're going, I wanted to make a responsible bid. I wanted to stay in budget. I wanted to, but you can't lose to Louisville on the first day of the NCAA or ACC tournament, especially when you shouldn't even be playing in the first day of the ACC tournament.
Throwback to the Les Robinson Invitational for those who might not know.
Which
NC State fans would know.
I was going to say, if Tuesday starts getting called the Kevin Keats Invitational, hey, are we going to play in the Kevin Keats Invitational this year? Could be a little a funny throwback. My point is, right, eventually, as much as you want to be fiscally responsible, it's going to be bad business if the basketball isn't a certain base level of mediocrity, right? If I like to say, if you squint with one eye and completely close the other, you can make things look good, right? If you close one eye, you squint with the other, it's a little foggy. But, if you play into Wednesday, if you play into Thursday of the ACC tournament, you squint one eye, you close the other, it looks like a team that you're like, you know what, they might be building something. Let's go ahead and give them one more year. However, if you go out on a Tuesday, I don't care if you close both eyes. We know what that looks like. There's some rapper somewhere that said even Stevie Wonder can see. Even Stevie Wonder can see that going out on Tuesday of the ACC tournament, not good enough for a program like NC State. How's Kevin Keats handling it? Well, as you can hear here, he's just focusing on one game at a time.
Do I like the fact that we've dropped 4? Absolutely not. But at the end of the day, we gotta move on. We've got a game to play, and from this point on, any time you win, you advance, and any time you lose, you go home. And so that's what our focus is right now.
I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say this: the next loss NC State has will end their season, right? Because they're going to have to win the ACC tournament to advance to the NCAA tournament. Their quote-unquote one-and-done playoffs start today. Now, Louisville, let's just call a spade, it's a team that NC State should beat handily.
Keyword should.
The spread's looking like it's right around double digits, 9.5 points, which means they should, the bettors say, the experts, the analysts say, should win this one handily. But guess what else that means? If you lose games that you should win handily, it's more and more difficult to explain away. You want to know the ugly side of college sports? The gross side of college sports? There are State fans that think if a win means Keats stays and a loss means he moves on, there's a dark, cynical part of their body saying, maybe if Louisville catches fire, it wouldn't be that bad.
Here's the thing. If you're at that position where, if he wins this game, he keeps his job, or he loses it, you already have 1 foot out the door.
Yes.
You're already leaning in that direction. Either you're all in or you're not.
This is quite literally the reason why basketball coaches have agents that set up buyouts, right? If you're Kevin Keats, the only thing that might be keeping you from moving on, especially if you have a rough showing in the ACC tournament, is your buyout. Now, that doesn't give you job security forever moving forward. What it gives you is one more shot, right? If you start next year like you're shot out of a cannon and you win a bunch of games and you are suddenly, are talking about being a Thursday team in the ACC tournament and you are talking about being an at-large team in the NCAA tournament, you can really dance on the edge of losing your job, and then you turn to your agent and you say, hey, I owe you a nice bottle of wine because the contract you negotiated for me, the extension with the buyout, got me this one more shot that I took advantage of. Right? It's a business decision as much as it's a basketball decision until the basketball becomes so unbelievably obvious that it doesn't matter. Because there are those conversations, right? where an administrator's talking to a booster, talking to a fan, talking to another administrator, and they're going like, yeah, my hands are kind of tied. You know, the fundraising, blah, 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 blah. And then at a certain point, it's like, you know what? I don't care. We'll figure it out. I'm not sure NC State is to the I don't care, we'll figure it out portion. But I do know going out on a Tuesday of the ACC tournament does. It gets you there. And also, I mean, there are, I would say the casual NC State fans, I don't know. There's these fans everywhere. My wife is this way. She grew up in Baltimore. She's from Baltimore. She's what I call a playoff fan, right? Like, she's a Ravens fan. She's not going to root for any other team. But she suddenly starts wearing, like, the gear when they're in the playoffs. And I'm like, all right, it works. The NC State casual playoff fan, they don't even know they're playing today.
No, probably not.
I had a state alum talking to me about the Panthers moves, going like, wow, you could fill a full show with all the moves the Panthers are making, the Burns trade, the this, the that, the this. And I was like, yeah, if State wasn't playing on a Tuesday, we might have to do that. And he's literally like, oh, really? And he's an alum. He's a fan. He has gear. Like, you just assume when you go to a school with multiple national championships, as long ago as they were, that you're, especially when you started 5-1 in the ACC, you might have saw the 5-1 and checked out and said, cool, I'll see you in the postseason.
It's interesting because last week, actually a week ago today, when NC State lost at home to Duke, we talked about just the level of apathy that was just noticeable from the fans, even at PNC Arena. It was.
Love and hate are closer to each other than either are to apathy.
That's true.
Like, if your fan base is absolutely livid, that's better than absolutely apathetic.
Mm-hmm.
And there were hints of apathy.
Oh, there are more than hints. I was there. I was like, I know there's a game going on here, right? They were in it early when when NC State started off with that 9-0 run, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. They were in it early, but after that, not so much.
What I would say to that is apathy in one game, end of the season, is one thing. If you start to get to the point where there's apathy just around the program in general, that gets a bit more scary, right? Mm-hmm. Apathy after a couple losses and you're bummed out, and maybe you sold out when, texted all your friends when you were ahead of North Carolina at halftime, and you used all your trash talk, and then they burned you in the second half, so you were mad at them for the Duke game. That's one thing. It's a whole other when someone's like, hey, is Keats coming back? And they're like, nah, I don't know. That's a little bit more of a bummer. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm here for DraftKings Sportsbook. The wait is over. Felt like we were waiting a long time, but DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR, is now live in North Carolina. Now you can legally bet on all your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in North Carolina with DraftKings. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code TIMD, that's TIMD with no spaces, and bet $5, just $5, will receive $200 instantly in bonus bets. And, little word of advice, make sure you check the rewards tab at the bottom. Click on promos in the top left once you're there. There might be some things that, if you play your cards right, can get you some bonus bets and can get you some cool promos and bonus bets. DraftKings has the best features, including same-game parlays, player props, and more, with fast and easy payouts right at your fingertips. Canes are playing today. It's the first game that you can bet on legally in the state of North Carolina for the Carolina Hurricanes. You might want to check that out. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code TIMD, T-I-M-D, no spaces, and bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TIMD. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will be back with the big spends on big beefy guards by the Carolina Panthers coming up.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
With the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries?
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, That's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's Bo time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Something is new in Raleigh. Global Golf's retail location has been redesigned with you in mind. Now, North Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned golf gear is even bigger. We've added hundreds of pre-owned golf clubs to the sales floor. Global Golf has all the latest golf gear to get you ready for the season, and our PGA professionals are here to help you with fittings and lessons. And Saturday, March 16th is Global Golf's big sidewalk sale with unbelievable one-day-only specials. Global Golf, open Monday through Saturday, 10 till 6, 7320 ACC Boulevard, North Raleigh.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Tim Donnelly here, and I know we all, right now, coming up on our calendar, have a lot of time scheduled with basketball tournaments and the couch, and that means crumbs, and that means you better have Zero Res on your schedule. Zero Res can come in and get all of those nacho crumbs, all of the chip dust, the stains from the dips and the wings, and get them out of your carpet using their all-natural, environmentally friendly, platinum-rated cleaning systems. They recently came to my house, and I'll tell you right now, you might not even know that I have a snacking problem in front of the TV during games, or that my 3-year-old has a snacking problem just about all the time, and my dog drags mud through the house. You wouldn't even know. That's how good Zero Res is. Couches, chairs, they're looking for stains to get them out. Call Zero Res today. Ask for the Tim Donnelly special. Get 3 rooms of carpets cleaned starting at $99. Visit ZeroResNC.com or call 919-995-0000.
Don't make your future you hate you. Compare and find top credit cards, savings accounts, and more today with NerdWallet. NerdWallet, finance smarter.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The Panthers are spending some money in free agency. Not the flashiest, right? Not the flashiest.
Nope.
You buy a house, you think like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a pool in. I'm going to put a man cave. I'm going to put a bar in the basement. It's going to be awesome. What do you usually end up spending your money on? HVAC and roof.
Yeah.
Right? So I had some things I had to fix. There was, some mold I had to get taken care of, and the insulation wasn't great. You end up spending on the basics. The Panthers are building, and this is a word tennis used, beef. They're building with beef.
Yep.
Interior offensive linemen. They're talking about guards. Talking about bodyguards for Bryce Young. Robert Hunt, 6 feet 6 inches, 330 pounds, 5 years, $100 million. Damian Lewis, 6 feet 2 inches, 327 pounds, 4 years, $53 million. That's putting your money where your offensive line is. That's putting your money where your big guys are. The big uglies, the hog mollies, whatever you want to call them. So guess what this is? This is Dave Canales, who you think has to be heavily involved in how they're building their offense, especially as an offensive-minded head coach. This is him saying this is what he believes Bryce Young needs. It's interesting. My reaction, right, when I saw Bryce Young last year was he needed tackles and he needed pass catchers. Seems like he was running for his life, particularly from the outside, and he needed pass catchers to get open. They spent $153 million over the next half decade on guards.
I know their interior of their own line was pretty awful last year. I saw a lot of turnstiles at metro stations, just people just revolving through and coming through that line.
But here's why I say tackles. Here's why I assumed tackles.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Dave Canales was going to get Bryce Young on the move. I thought he was going to get him outside the pocket. I thought he was going to say, you're an undersized guy. Let's get you on play action rollouts. And instead, it seems like he's saying, no, step up. Step up. Trust the interior, right? You're gonna have a pocket to step up to. These guys are gonna anchor. Austin Corbett, by the way, looks like he's gonna slide over to center, and he can be that dude, or at least they hope he can be. And it's gonna be easier for him when he has two mammoth human beings, 330-pounders with good advanced analytics on either side of him. Bryce Young needs to stay in the pocket and step up, which tells me Dave Canales is looking at Bryce Young a little differently than he looked at Baker. There were a lot of rollouts for Baker, right? Rashad White, he got the ball a ton, and then Baker was playing off of that quite a bit. And I think it's going to be a little different for Bryce Young. Now, we also should say this. We don't usually, right, this is March 12th, don't usually get into fantasy football this early. You want to put Chuba Hubbard on your radar because he's really, really good at running between the tackles. Not a great pass catcher, right? Doesn't do some of the things that a modern, versatile, I don't know, Christian McCaffrey-type running back might do. But one thing he can do is get going downhill. And if he's going downhill behind that interior offensive line, the dives, the 4, the 5 yards, there's going to be a bunch of them. And if he can turn 5 yards into 7 yards, Dave Canales is going to keep giving him the ball. It's not a bad strategy to look at Bryce Young and say the way we make him more efficient is to get him less attempts. We're going to run the ball, we're going to run the ball, we're going to run the ball, so every single time Bryce Young drops back to pass, we have the element of surprise on our side. That's not a bad way for a young quarterback to develop. Right? Every time he drops back to pass, now they do have to get the pass catchers that he's going to be throwing it to, but every time he drops back to pass, if the defense is like, oh, because they started with 8 guys in the box, that's not a bad way to simplify his reads a bit. It's not a bad way for him to, cut off half the field with a play action. And it all starts with, kind of square one football stuff. Get the guys that look good walking off the bus. Right? Get the guys that are intimidating at the line of scrimmage. It's an interesting decision here for a few reasons. Free agency, what are the two biggest, splashiest positions we've seen? Running back, right? A lot of running backs have moved and made some money that we aren't used to seeing go to running backs. And guards, right? Interior offensive linemen, a bunch of them. Now, why would those two positions be the ones that are going so aggressively?
Probably not a lot of them in the draft.
Weak classes, seen as, not deep. And also, wide receiver, some other positions are seen as deep in the draft. So, if you're a team like the Panthers, you might think we do need to increase our pass catchers. However, in a deep draft, we have a couple of second rounders. Maybe we can do some damage there. Then we can spend our free agency budget on the guards, which won't be as readily available in the draft. The fact of the matter is this. The Panthers had a boatload of needs. And they're cashing in their defensive value chips to increase the offensive side of the ball. They're letting Frankie Louvu walk. They're letting Brian Burns go in a trade. They're letting Dante Jackson leave and bring in some cap space. They are cashing in whatever value they had on defense, Von Bell, and they're moving it on over to the offensive side of the ball, right? It's not difficult to draw a pretty straight line between how much did Brian Burns get per year, right? Like $30 million. How much did those two guards get? Well, Hunt's getting $20 million per year on average, 5 years, 100, and Damian Lewis is getting what? We're looking at like 13.
Yeah,
that's pretty close to $30 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is cashing in the money you would have had to spend on Brian Burns and moving it over to protect Bryce Young. Now, I still don't like what they got in return for Brian Burns, but I do like the idea of understanding who the most important player in your franchise is right now, and that is Bryce Young. Like I'm good for a good movie quote, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guards and the replacements.
Oh, yes.
They're like quite literally bodyguards that get called out of protecting some celebrity. We're the guards. We protect our quarterback. Right after they, I think they literally shot the car of the guy that was tormenting the.
Yeah, they did do that too.
That's
the quarterback, yeah.
Only Keanu Reeves could be in that movie and make it work, along with Gene Hackman, the legend. But your guards are kind of that, right? Bryce Young, your guards are kind of that. So going back to a point I was making earlier, I don't like Dave Canales. To me, you have an undersized quarterback. Let's just call a spade, right? 5'10" and an eighth, unless he's been hanging from a bar trying to stretch out a little bit. He's 5'10" and an eighth.
Great chiropractor.
I believe they're going more for the Breeze style. Drew Brees, because Drew Brees is also not a big dude.
No.
Right? He's him, Russell Wilson, Kyler. These are the guys that every undersized quarterback gets compared to. Drew Brees always had some pretty studly guards, and that trusted him, right? He always had those little happy feet, right? Just tap, 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 tap. It was doing the tap of the ball. Brees always looked very anxious in the pocket until all of a sudden, boom, ball out. That's kind of what they're going for Bryce. Shifting in the pocket, right? Because these guys are big, but he's going to have to see between them, see around them, and step up like Drew Brees did, rather than somebody like Kyler, somebody like Baker Mayfield, somebody that likes to get out on the perimeter a bit more. Because if you want to get on the perimeter, you need tackles that can really hold the edge and give you that space out, right? That avenue around the edge. If I'm Ike Ekwonu, guess what I'm doing from now on?
What's that?
I'm running defensive ends as far outside as they want to go. I'm making them run a big old half circle if they want to get to Bryce Young. And I'm telling Bryce, like, I'm going to run him 10 yards past. You step up. As long as you're not 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, I'm just going to – it's judo, right? The judo is using their own momentum against them, right? Mm-hmm. It's a lot of throws and stuff. If an edge rusher wants to get up the field and I'm Ike Ekwonu, I'm run blocking them backwards, right? I'm just going to use their momentum and keep them rolling, knowing Bryce Young with these giant humans on the interior can step up, and I can run everybody past. That's, I think, what Dave Canales is going for here, and Dan Morgan, obviously. Now it's an execution thing, and you do have to hit in the draft on the pass catchers to get open. Far from done, but it's an interesting strategy, and I didn't see it coming this way.
Well, they saw a hole and they filled it, right?
Yes. And
simple as that.
And
they saw a hole, filled it.
And with so many holes and only so many ways you can fill the gaps on the roster, you're going to have to take some chances somewhere. Icky's one of those chances. Your left tackle, that's going to be a chance. But they're convicted in it. They're like, all right, guard, we're filling. Because now there's nowhere for Icky to go. If Icky doesn't work out, there was always kind of that safety net of, you could always bump him into guard. Now if Icky doesn't work out at left tackle, there's nowhere for him to go because you have $153 million tied up in guard. They're convicted in their evaluations, which is kind of nice. I give them respect for that.
Hey, Dennis Cox here with my friends down at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. I don't know about where you're sitting right now, but where I am, it's beautiful outside. It's like 71, 72 degrees. Not thinking about all the outdoor stuff I want to get to do here in the springtime. And then with summer rolling around, I'm already trying to plan when am I going to Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School next, because it's an experience that I've had before, and I want to have again and again and again, because they have a wonderful 65-acre area just outside of Sanford, and they have target course, they have the target range, they have archery set up, everything for you, the shooting school, you name it. Check out all they have to offer at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Again, deepriversportingclays.com. But it's the experience and the fun that you have there with your friends, that shared memory, that shared experience that we all love, especially in the sports world. That's one of the reasons why we watch games, we go to games. We have that same experience with other fans. That's something you actually have at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. You have that experience with someone that you love. Maybe it's a corporate event, you name it. Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School is a place you want to go to again and again and again. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. Again, deepriversportingclays.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Jake Guentzel, the big addition at the trade deadline for the Carolina Hurricanes, skated at morning skate today. What could that mean for the Canes? Next.
Hey y'all, Dylan at Oak City Customs here. With spring upon us and summer right around the corner, it's time to enjoy your backyard or outdoor entertainment space. At Oak City Customs, we offer a wide variety of items for outdoor living, including pergolas, shade sails, fire pits, and outdoor bar areas. In addition to dining room tables and other items for the inside of your home, we would love to make your vision for your outdoor space a reality this season. Come visit us at our showroom in Zebulon or check us out at oakcitycustoms.com.
Bobby Joe absolutely hated her job.
Can't hate that job any more than I do.
So, time for one of those fancy tech schools?
No, I could never afford that. I'm going to Sharky's.
Sharky's?
Yeah, no better place to relax. Great food, cold beer, good whiskey, darts, billiards.
So now you love your job?
No, I still hate my job, but I loves me some Sharky's. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, everybody loves Sharky's. Sharky's Place, one of the best neighborhood bars in the world. 5800 Durley Road by the Shell Station.
Hey, it's Dennis Cox, and I've teamed up with Underdog Fantasy to help you play like a champion. To be a champion, you must play like one. Here are some helpful tips for you to stay safe while gaming. Have a game plan going in. Set that budget for yourself that you know you can afford to lose, and make sure that you stick to it. But also remember that gaming is about fun and entertainment, not just a way to make money. If gaming is no longer fun for you, it's important that you seek help when necessary. I enjoy and love playing with Underdog because it's obviously a great opportunity for me to have added value and added investment into the sports that I watch. When I'm watching the Carolina Hurricanes play, or I'm watching NBA basketball games or college hoops, you name it, I have that added investment, and that's what Underdog always brings. Now you're ready to play like a champion. This message has been brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105. 800-727-9105.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Today could be the day. There are signs pointing towards maybe it will be the day. Jake Guentzel perhaps debuting for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight.
Let's go.
He was on the ice for morning skate. I'm going to do my best not to expect Guentzel to be in midseason form and have the team clicking on all cylinders tonight, because that is not fair, but it is going to be difficult. During the morning skate, he was skating alongside the two new guys were together, Guentzel and Kuzi, along with Natchez. And that right there, that's a good sound for it. Oh, it's one of those chemistry experiments where you're pouring in different color liquids and then you just stand back and go, is it going to explode? Is it going to smoke? Is it going to bubble? What is it going to do? Let's see. Put your glasses on. Put your goggles on. Get your lab coats. We're going to see how this goes. He was also skating with the second power play, which was Guentzel, Natchez, Nason, and Teravainen with Shea. That's another one.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one.
Mm-hmm.
And reading tea leaves here, I doubt you have someone running with a power play unit who you're not expecting to play tonight. It's not 100%. They have not confirmed anything, but he was activated off injured reserve. He's skating with players that you know are going to play. He's on the power play with players that you know are going to play. I'm just connecting dots. Here's Jake Guentzel after morning skate on just that, having to play.
I've learned some things, so it'll be a little adjustment, but as we go here, I'll learn and get more comfortable. And I'm not trying to think too much. Just go play.
Just got to go play. That's where I'm going to have to seriously stop myself from expecting him to be like playoff Pittsburgh Guentzel the moment he steps on the ice for the Canes.
Unless you're going to do it.
Because going back to last Thursday, it's almost, I'm sure it's almost boring sports radio because you just want good. Like you need conflict, right? What movie would be good if it's just like two people who are both healthy and good for each other meet, they fall in love, they never have anything go wrong in their relationship, they get married, they go on, they have a nice life. Since last Thursday, this is what we've dealt with. Freddie Anderson returns, win over Montreal.
Yep.
They make the trade everyone wanted to make to acquire Jake Guenztel that same day. They make a surprise trade that everybody seems to be all in favor of to get Kuznetsov the next day. Saturday, win in Jersey. That's a big win against a divisional team.
On national TV.
Sunday, win over Calgary, score 1 billion goals. Monday, day off. Everybody chills. Tuesday, Guentzel debuts? Question mark. It's tempting to just kind of fall into a rut that everything's going to keep moving up. Going back to last Thursday is just like, hey, it's the opposite of the movie trope where you say can't get any worse and then it starts raining. It's like can't get any better. Then the sun comes out in a rainbow, a double rainbow right over your shoulder, and you're just like, well, I guess it could. But that's very nerve-wracking if you're a superstitious person because you're looking around going, when's the other shoe going to drop? When's the other shoe going to drop? There's going to be hurdles for this unit. There are. They're not just going to, score 7 goals every game on their way to a Stanley Cup championship, and then we'll all be at the parade going, wow, remember that Thursday where everything just started being awesome? We're not going to do that. There's going to be hurdles. Maybe tonight, maybe not tonight. There will be hurdles, and there will be obstacles, and there will be games that are tough, but golly, it feels like things are going well right now. Here's Jake Guentzel more after morning skate about his excitement to be playing meaningful games.
The biggest thing, you're playing those meaningful games, and you're excited to be in the playoff spot, and just the atmosphere is great, so it's going to be a good time, and obviously it's a big game tonight, so it'll be fun.
And that's the other thing. It is a big game tonight, right? He's not wading into the shallow end, right? He's not doing the whole, like, I'm going to take the stairs into the pool. It's the New York Rangers at home, right? It's the team you are chasing in the standings, and the team that you might say, Guentzel was brought in to close that gap, right? The reason you're here is because the Rangers are at the top of the division. Who knows if the Canes make that move if the Canes were at the top of the division, if they didn't have that very rough start at the beginning of the year, and maybe they're looking around going, to quote Don Waddell from years past, we like our group. Instead, they're chasing, they bring in Guentzel. Is there pressure? Is there pressure on him to, do it all tonight?
I'm sure he's going to feel something.
Maybe a little firing away,
yeah.
Hey, let me go get one here. Let me let everybody know why I'm here. I wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't hate it either.
I kind of like there's all these good vibes and everybody just wants to win and we're playing meaningful games and Kuzi's in a new headspace and the guys that have been around are all re-energized by the new energy and the new blood and hey, let's go. I wouldn't hate if there's a little pressure making diamonds. I wouldn't hate if Guentzel was out there feeling like they gave up. By the way, a guy most people liked in Michael Bunting, they gave up some prospects. They gave up a pick, and I'm out here that I now have to go make it good. I'm fine with that.
He understands what's at stake.
And
he gets it. He's been around long enough.
And matter of fact, Guentzel's somebody I would artificially make pressure on that guy because some of his best has been in the most pressure-packed situations. Mm-hmm. He's a legendary kind of already scorer in the playoffs. So let's, I don't know, tell him If you don't score tonight, you're I don't know, you got to artificially make it real pressure packed because that's what brings out the best in them.
And they clearly, just mentioning the fact that they're playing the Rangers tonight, they clearly know what's at stake for themselves as a team. Because right now, Carolina is 4 points back of the New York Rangers for the top spot in the Metropolitan Division. Why does that matter? Well, get to the top spot in the Metropolitan Division, you have home ice at least through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. So there is something there is something in the line in that regard. You win this one in regulation, you cut the deficit in half, you're down to 2 points back in the standings. You play the same number of games. Lose this one in regulation, you go from 4 to 6.
Should we go down the...
There's a massive swing in this game here today.
The ghosts of instead of Christmas past, the ghost of like potential wins future. Like if we take that timeline that I ran through, right? Thursday, Freddie comes back, win over Montreal, trade for Guentzel. Friday, Kuzi gets traded for. Saturday, win over New Jersey. Sunday, win over Calgary. Monday, day off. Tuesday, Guentzel debuts, 2 points, cut the deficit in half. And then depending on, how New York plays over their next couple games, Thursday, another win, maybe cut into that, maybe tied up. Again, if just everything was going to break your way, I feel like we need a heat check, right? Mm-hmm. Like the especially because it's against the Panthers on Thursday. The Canes need a heat check. Since Thursday, they've been throwing up some hook shots, and they're all going in. At a certain point, you just need to take a 3 from half court and go, maybe today's my day. There have been a bunch of 70-point games in the NBA this year. Maybe it's my turn. Where's Wilt Chamberlain when you need him?
By the way, Pyotr Kochetkov looks like he's going to start net today.
They're kind of doing an alternating thing there with Kochetkov and Anderson.
And look at their schedule moving forward. They obviously played this past Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. They play again today. They play Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. They play Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. So it's for every 7 days, Sunday to Saturday, you're playing 4.
Let me ask you this, and this is, I think it might be a longer conversation, but you could also do it in 10 seconds or less. Who's goalie 1?
Kochetkov right now.
But I mean, like, if a postseason started tomorrow, who would you want as goalie 1?
I probably would want Kochetkov, but it would not surprise me if they went with Freddie.
With 2-0 since he came back?
Yeah, there was a little shaky in the last game.
It helps when you get 7 goals in goal support.
Yeah, that also helps. You can just tell he's rusty. It's simple as just getting back into game shape for Freddie Anderson. It's just as simple as that. Just get back into game shape.
They have a decent amount of games to get back into game shape before the postseason.
He's got quite a few left.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to take a break, but football at 4 is coming up next. Brian Burns was traded from the Carolina Panthers. That came with a very, very blunt and not sugar-coated message for everyone that wears a Carolina Panthers uniform. I'll tell you what that message is next.
At Bet365, they don't do ordinary. They believe that every sport should be epic. Every point, every game, every layup, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today, and you'll get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, official partner of the Charlotte Hornets. 21 plus only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, Wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets packed $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem killing helpline 877-718-5543.
Were you forced to get a nosebleed mortgage rate in the past year? Loan Pronto is here to rescue you. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Listen, if your mortgage rate is over 7, you're going to be in heaven with Loan Pronto's zero-cost refi. You can cut your house payment by hundreds of dollars with zero closing costs. Rates have come down, so you can say goodbye to that bad loan you got stuck with. Loan Pronto's now got APRs with fixed rates in the 5s. One couple just did this and saved over $550 a month with no appraisal and closed in 10 days. So, don't live with that stupid rate a day longer. You can lock in at a lower rate now with no cost and very little paperwork. Loan Pronto, your easy button for lower rates and no closing cost loans. Call now and see how much lower you can get your house payment. Refi now and you can even skip your next 2 house payments altogether. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Equal housing lender.
Hey, didn't see you downtown last weekend.
Nope, we had a night out at the new Salt and Lime by the Raleigh Grand.
What? No Sharkies?
Well, I love Sharkies, but we had to try Salt and Lime's Baja Mexican menu. The food and atmosphere there is great. Just love it. And we had a pre-dinner drink around the corner at that new wine bar, The Mix. It's almost next door to Sharkies. Excellent drinks, great selection of wine, and they had live music.
Well, that's perfect.
It was. Next week, it's House of Hops. I just love the relaxed atmosphere, and the beer selection is out of this world. Then Sharkies for some late-night entertainment. Every place is so convenient.
I know. They're just a stone's throw from each other.
Yeah. Wait, I guess it would depend on the size of the stone and, of course, who's throwing it.
True. The closer they are, the larger the stone could be, right? And if my husband is throwing it, maybe needs to be a small stone.
Salt and Lime, The Mix, House of Hops, and Sharkies, just a stone's throw from each other. Check them out online and visit soon.
Hey, son, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it.
When your kid can't find the language, find the lyrics. Start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness!
Go to GotBrian.com. That's GotBrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. We have a streak of highs in the 70s for the next several days. We'll see 71 this afternoon under mostly sunny skies. It will be a cool night with a low of 44, but we're back to sunny skies and warm temperatures tomorrow with highs in the mid-70s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 256 points to 39,025. The Dugout Tavern and Grill, #1 sports bar in Apex and your March Hoops headquarters.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
Football at 4 here on 99.9 The Fan. During that commercial break, I learned of a new signing for the Carolina Panthers. And I love it because it actually plays right into the point I was going to make about the Panthers. The Panthers have agreed to terms, according to Mike Garafolo of the NFL Network, with veteran defensive tackle A'Shawn Robinson, 3 years, $22.5 million, according to Garafolo's sources. This is a player with a history with Evero, the defensive coordinator, from their times with the Rams. Played most recently with the Giants last year. Here's the message that the Brian Burns trade, which they only got back a second and a fifth, the Dante Jackson cut, the Bradley Bozeman cut, the Hayden Hurst cut, the Von Bell cut, this signing, the Frankie Louvu decision not to match what money he got from the Commanders. Here's what all of that is saying. Last year, the Carolina Panthers were the worst team in the NFL, and Dave Canales and Dan Morgan don't want anyone who had any part of that hanging around. And I mean, maybe Bryce Young, because they said it wasn't his fault. That's about it. Everybody else, it feels like if they could move on from, they would move on from. The message from ownership, the message from the front office, the message from the coaching staff to the Panthers is an obvious one. Nothing about last year is acceptable, and they will take steps back to rid themselves of everything that led to last year. Right? And that is where something along the lines of moving Brian Burns for whatever you can get from him. For him, I should say. Moving Brian Burns for whatever you could get for him becomes a thing. Right? Cutting Von Bell and still having $9 million in dead cap and only getting $1 million in cap space back. Cutting Hayden Hurst and getting $50,000 in cap space back, which I know it's brutal when you have to talk about professional sports and things like $50,000 are literally nothing because we're regular people and $50,000 would be a lot of money. But $50,000 to the salary cap, literally nothing. They cut Hayden Hurst to get that back against the cap. The Panthers, you ready for this?
Go on.
They're going to be bad next year.
Oh, yeah. That's obvious.
A'Shawn Robinson, solid player.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is not a, like, I don't want to make it sound like, hey, I just heard this news that A'Shawn Robinson was sound, and now I can finally definitively say the Panthers are going to be bad next year. But that's not a player that's going to change that opinion. I think he's someone that can come in. He can be an extension of Evero. He's a good player on the interior defensive line. He'll benefit from Derek Brown taking so much attention. It's a good signing. The Panthers are going to be bad this upcoming year.
It's interesting how all their signings so far have all been interior guys. Offensive and defensive line, all interior.
Very good point. They're building from the inside out.
Yeah.
Traditionally, that's a good way to build. However, as of late, it does feel like the money gets spent on the edges, corners, edge rushers, tackles, receivers, pass-catching tight ends, quarterbacks, all on the outside. But they can build in the trenches. If they want to go full old school, if they want to keep pounding, if they want to build like we've seen Panthers teams be very good in the past, okay.
We saw the Chiefs after they lost in the Super Bowl to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a few years ago. They're like, oh, our offensive line's not very good. Where do they start spending money? Offensive line. Interior offensive line to help Patrick Mahomes. It does matter. It's not sexy, but it matters.
It absolutely does. However, I will push back a little bit. You don't have to spend on wide receivers as much when you have Patrick Mahomes.
There's also that.
I get frustrated when people are, hey, just do what the Chiefs are doing. And I'm going like, all right, step one, find Patrick Mahomes. Then we'll get to step two.
Hey, that was Matt Rule's plan.
And by the way,
was Matt Rule's plan.
By the way, nobody else has gotten past step one aside from the Chiefs. So, and many have tried. It's not that easy.
At the end of the day.
Here's the other thing about Dave Canales and Dan Morgan and the way they've gone about their free agency this year, right? Moving on from so many main contributors. I'm not as high on the Panthers 2023 defense as some are, but I am acknowledging that it's always going to be tough if you move on from like your three best players on a defense, right? Brian Burns, Frankie Louvu, at times Von Bell, like that's a core right there. They all played a lot of football for you.
Dante Jackson, as many times he got cooked, was their best corner because J.C. Horn was hurt
availability
for so long.
Matters. There's a lot of here's how I'm going to put this, okay? Burning it down is the easy part. The Panthers are very aggressively starting at square one, right? And the only piece they're building around is Bryce Young. And this was largely, I assume, part of the sell to get the jobs they got. Right? David Tepper, I'm sure, in those interviews for the new GM Dan Morgan and the new head coach Dave Canales, asked him, how do you see us coming out of this hole? We were the worst team in the NFL last year. What do we need to do? What's step one? Take me through it. How do we do this? And it's very obvious the first decision, the first plan was, well, you got to Break it down to build it back up. The breaking it down is the easy part. Building it up is the hard part, especially when you break it down in this nature. Passing on the few sure things that you have is bold. Would it have cost a lot of money to keep Brian Burns? Yes, but guess what you would have had? Brian Burns. You would have had an edge rusher at a position of premium that you know the league respects. Would it have cost more than maybe you would have liked to have spent to keep Frankie Louvu? Yes. But guess what? You would have had an off-ball linebacker that you know can get after the quarterback and you know can simply make tackles. Moving on from those guys, that's the easy part. Finding a way to be better, that's much more difficult. And you only get one shot at this, right? You only have the job security to do this one time. If you do this 2 years from now, you lose your job. Because if you move on from a bunch of your good players, you're going to lose games next year. And you're going to be picking at the top of the draft, and you're going to be picking in the top 5, and everybody's going to say, oh, you know what, that is an attractive head coaching position because they can get their quarterback, and they're going to want to go there. You only get one shot at the burn-down rebuild. And the Panthers are, Dave Canales and Dan Morgan are going for it. And it is kind of that Brandon Beane style philosophy, right? Brandon Beane was asked what he thought of the Brandon Beane, the GM for the Buffalo Bills, was remembering like how he treated the trade up to get Josh Allen. And he goes, it was kind of freeing because if it didn't work, I wouldn't be here anyway. And if it did work, it wouldn't matter how much I gave up for him because then it would have worked and I'd have my franchise quarterback and everyone would go good trade.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is for Dan Morgan and Dave Canales, right? What did you think when you decided to trade Brian Burns? What did you think when you decided not to bring back 3, 4, 5 of your main contributors from a defense that was the bright spot last year? What did you think when you decided to spend $150 million on guards? Part of it might be, it's kind of freeing because if it doesn't work, I'm not going to be here in 3 years to have to clean it up. And if it does work, all the little individual, did we not get an extra third for Brian Burns? It won't matter because it'll have worked in our plan. We would have replaced him with someone better. We would have built ourselves into a contender. And by that point, we'll be the toast of the town. They'll be going to more Duke Carolina games. Dave Canales was at the Duke Carolina game.
Yeah, I don't blame him for going to that. I told Paul Ihander this morning on Next Up, and
check it out every morning, 9 to 10, right here, 99.9 The Fan.
And I told it also to Chris Lee on Panthers Playbook. We couldn't
check it out everywhere podcasts can be found, as well as our YouTube page, Panthers
YouTube.
Playbook.
I said, this team is not going to be winning games, or it's not going to be in a position to actually really win games until 2026, in my opinion. Because the rebuild's going to take more than just 1 year. Because like you said, there's the teardown, got to find pieces this year, and you still need to find pieces in 2025. Now, do you want to see progress in building? Yes, absolutely. But 2026, in my opinion, if you're not 10-win team at that point in 2026, this is all failure.
Here's the way I think you measure success next year. Do you have a winning caliber offense?
Mm-hmm.
I think when you're letting so many defensive players go and or trading them and or not re-signing them, whatever it is, and you're spending so much of your resources on offense and you have a former number 1 overall pick at quarterback, your offense should start making some pretty big strides. If your defense takes a step back, well, what did you expect? You moved on from the second highest paid edge rusher in the league. You moved on from a solid off-the-ball linebacker and a solid safety and a solid corner. If you move on from those guys, you're going to take a step back. As long as there's 2 steps forward on offense, we'll call it progress and move on.
That's all you want is progress. Dennis Cox here with my friends over at the Law Tigers. I know Canes are in action tonight, by the way. PNC Arena, 7 o'clock puck drop. Imagine on a beautiful day like today, you roll up to PNC Arena on your very own custom Harley-Davidson motorcycle. That can actually be a reality for you because the Law Tigers, Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, and Shiny Side Paint, and your Carolina Hurricanes, they're all teaming up together to give the ultimate Canes fan a custom Hurricanes 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. It's simple. You just got to go to caniacsbike.com. But you're running out of time, though, folks. The bike's going to be given away live on the ice on Friday, April 5th at the game at PNC. So you're running out of time here. Enter today. We're in the final couple weeks. Enter today. Caniacsbike.com. That's Caniacsbike.com for your chance to win this custom-painted beauty of a bike. If you win the bike, let me know. Maybe you and I can ride up to PNC together. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will be back with Cop or Drop. Dennis will come with the predictions, the takes, the ideas. I'll tell you whether I'm copping or dropping next.
It's time for the Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month.
Hello, this is Creighton Blackwell from Coastal Credit Union, here to celebrate our next Scholar Athlete of the Month. We are here at South Garner High School, where we're going to celebrate the next Scholar Athlete, Patience Ifedine.
Patience has been an awesome addition to our women's basketball team. Patience has been playing since her freshman year. So to be a year-round athlete and to have a 3.9 GPA, that takes a lot of dedication and hard work.
I just never forget why I'm doing the stuff that I'm doing, why I'm a student athlete, and why I play basketball.
And she's a leader, very much a leader on this team, and she plays a very important role in all our lives.
She'll tell you the truth of what you do wrong, but she'll make it sound nice. She won't try to make it sound mean.
My teammates, they've shown me stuff that I didn't even know about myself, and they push me to be great every day. I mean, obviously I do the same for them. And my coach, she's been everything to me. My mom calls her my godmother, but I don't know about that yet. We'll work on that. But she's been everything to me. She's made me a better person, and she's just grown my game to a whole nother level.
Congratulations, Patience.
Thank you.
For 20 years, 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union have been recognizing scholar athletes at Triangle area schools. If you'd like to nominate a high school athlete, head to WRALSportsFan.com, keyword award.
Where's me shamrock?
Everybody's Irish at Hibernian Pub's St. Patrick's Day celebrations. This year, there's double the Irish with 2 parties.
Come out for a wee drum.
Saturday, March 16th, Hibernian takes over Glenwood South, starting at noon with live music, Irish dancers, bagpipers, and great food and drinks to celebrate all day. Then, Sunday, March 17th, there's a live DJ party with bagpipers and Irish dancers on North Street, next to Hibernian Pub on Glenwood, starting at noon. Get details at hibernianpub.com.
The wait is over, college hoops fans. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is officially live in North Carolina, and right now, new customers get $250 in bonus bets guaranteed when you make your first $5 bet. Just go to FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold to sign up. Then you can bet on everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will cut down the nets, all on an app that is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Take the court with $250 in bonus bets, win or lose, when you place your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold to get started. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. You must be 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
You want true enlightenment? Well, I'm dropping.
Copper drop time here on 99.9 The Fan, The Drive with Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox, we're going fast today, so go ahead and hit it.
All right, we talked a lot about the Carolina Panthers and some of the moves that they've made so far this offseason.
Copping.
Okay.
I don't know what the question is.
Oh, the
yet.
question
I
was
just
going to be
that we've been talking about it a lot.
Bryce Young will be the starting quarterback in 2026 for the Carolina Panthers. Cop or drop?
2026. All right, I got to get my calendar straight. So he was the starter in 2023. This upcoming year will be 2024.
Yep.
The following year will be 2025. The next year will be 2026. Will be his 4th year in the league. The last year of his rookie deal, not option. Because the 5th year option will be the next year. I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say he is.
Okay.
For a few reasons. One, you traded away so darn much. You're kind of pot committed. And
are you though?
And I think this regime gets 2.5 years at least, right? The Dave Canales, Dan Morgan group. I don't think they're going to be run out of town as quickly as Frank Reich because they are younger, and it does appear as if they're more built. They're not selling the dream of competing for a Super Bowl this year, which Frank Reich and that staff did, right? They brought in free agents on some, hey, come here, compete to win. And it definitely feels more like they're selling the dream of a rebuild. So if they're still here 2.5 years from now, that means I think Bryce is still here 2.5 years from now because this group is all in on Bryce. They have to be. So I'm going to say yes. And I also think he has a bit of a boost here. He at least has the, I used to call it the Baker Mayfield line.
Okay.
You know how the Mendoza line in baseball is batting 200?
Yep.
I used to call it the Baker Mayfield line, where any quarterback that was better than Baker Mayfield got a massive contract extension to be your starting quarterback. Anyone that was worse than him didn't get any money and had to go be a backup somewhere. And Baker was like I don't know. This was really when he was with the Browns. I guess he's now Baker is above the Baker line because he just got a huge deal from
he's
from
still the line. He just moved the line up.
So, all right. So, yeah, I think Bryce will be flirting with the Baker line, which is enough to keep him around for 4 years of his career.
Okay. All right, next one, cop or drop. Jake Guentzel scores in his debut for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight. Cop or drop?
Copping.
Of course.
I'm copping for a few reasons.
Give him a hat trick. Let's go.
I'm not copping a hat trick. But I think he's going to press a bit. And I think he's good enough and used to playing under the pressure enough that him pressing just means he's more likely to get a goal rather than he's more likely to take 37 shots and, pepper the glass behind the goal. He's good. And also he's playing with Natchez and Kuz. That group is, I believe, going to create some chances. They're going to be flying around. It's going to be hard to keep up with. And, how on brand do we want to be right now?
All the way.
I think they're going to cause some chaos.
Let's go.
I think they're going to cause some chaos. And I think Guentzel finds the net. So, yeah, he's going to score.
All right, let's go to the ACC Tournament, which, by the way, Notre Dame defeated Georgia Tech 84-80. That game just wrapped up a couple minutes ago.
Am I copping or dropping Georgia Tech's execution on a potentially game-winning final possession? I am dropping it.
That was obvious. But
take the jumper. Pull the trigger. You get this. Sorry.
NC State, that game should tip off here in about 25 minutes or so. Cop or drop? Kevin Keats will coach his final game for NC State this week.
Dropping.
Oh.
I think as I said earlier, it's a business decision as much as it's a basketball decision. It's such an uncertain point in college sports as in general. If it's not football, which obviously you have to spend in football, if it's not football, I think there is a hesitancy to do anything monumental, right? I just saw Ole Miss, which Ole Miss got money, right? Ole Miss has those Southern
old money,
Southern booster money.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting plans to improve facilities on hold because they're basically telling their boosters, like, rather than give us money for facilities, channel your money directly to players for NIL stuff, which is an interesting way to go about it. Kansas, on the other hand, a team that maybe doesn't understand the future of college football as much, is like, we're spending $500 million on facilities. So I'm looking at State and saying, do you really want boosters and donors and fundraising to go towards having to find a $5 million, whatever it is, it's close to $5 million buyout for Keats? Or would you rather have that $5 million in program funding and support go towards, like, I don't know, keeping Casey Concepcion another year on campus? It's a dangerous game they're all playing. So I think I I think the buyout might keep Keats around for another year. And then, depending on how next year goes, you'll make those decisions.
All right, going into the ACC tournament, I know I've asked you this one in multiple weeks. It always seems to change. Cop or drop, the ACC will get more than 4 schools in the NCAA tournament. So more than 4. So
I've spent a lot of time on this.
I know you have. That's why I'm asking.
I'm saying 4.
Okay, you're saying 4. Give me 4. We know Duke, Carolina,
Duke,
obviously.
Carolina, UVA, and one of either Pitt, Wake, or Clemson.
You don't think Clemson's a lock?
No.
No.
I think they have to win a game in the ACC tournament.
Interesting. You don't think Clemson's a lock, even if they lose in round 1 and they're on tomorrow?
They just dropped an ugly game not long ago.
They lost to Wake.
And
on the road at Wake, which is no slouch of a game to lose to. Because they're losing at Wake Forest. Everyone did that except for Georgia Tech, who loses to Notre Dame today. But hey, it's what it is. By the way, Notre Dame will play Wake Forest tomorrow at 2:30.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
They lost to Notre Dame.
Yeah, but Notre Dame was on a heater.
10 days ago.
Notre Dame just beat Georgia Tech. They're on a heater. Come on now.
I think they need to win a game.
Okay.
I think they need to win a game.
We're going to give our predictions for the ACC tournament coming up here, by the way.
So you'll see if I think they're going to win a game or not.
Well,
but I do think one of those 3 makes it. I wasn't in on UVA making it like as a guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
They're the 3rd seed in the ACC tournament, and I refuse, like it's against my core beliefs and values, to say the 3rd best team in the ACC is not an NCAA tournament team. There's just something that it will not compute in my brain. If you are the 3rd seed in the ACC tournament, punch your ticket.
I know. Clemson was the 4th seed in the ACC last year and did not make the NCAA tournament. Pitt did as a 5, and NC State did as the 6th.
But the 3 seed?
I'm just saying.
A 4 seed, I don't have Pitt as a lock as a 4 seed.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine you're one of the 3 best teams in ACC conference play and you don't get in. I refuse to believe. And if the committee wants to make that decision, you can cash me outside.
How about that? Here's the thing. Clemson last year finished, they were 4th. They finished in a 3-way tie technically for 3rd with Duke and Pitt, both tournament teams. And they beat NC State 3 times, yet didn't make the tournament, and NC State did.
Dennis and I will be at the ACC tournament in D.C. starting tomorrow.
Yep.
If the 3rd seed in the ACC tournament doesn't make it, I'm not saying I'm going to do anything. I wouldn't make any threats. But I'm going to look at those little cards on Media Row that say which seat is reserved for, and I'm going to find the one that says committee, and I'm going to know where they are. They might get a strongly worded look. They might get a finger wagging from me.
Okay. Finger wag away, sir.
I'm going to know what they look like.
Finger wag away. I have 4. I have 4 going in.
Who?
Duke, Carolina, obviously Virginia, and Clemson.
Okay. So
I think those 4 are locked. I don't know if Wake's going to be able to do enough or Pitt's going to be able to do enough.
I mean, if you make
the committee's weird, man. That's all I'm saying.
If Wake, I think Wake would have to do some work. They have to make like the Final 4, maybe even the championship game. But it's a possibility. Is that what we got? Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I have this for you. My friends over at Miller Lending, and of course that includes Gordon Miller. They're the home of the no-cost loan. You may hear somewhere else, our rates are lower than Miller's rates, but that's like an airline telling you their ticket is cheaper. Right? That's the big bold. Our ticket cheapest. And then you read the fine print and it says there's a fee to use the bathrooms, a fee for your carry-on, a fee for your checked bag, a fee for you not to be packed underneath with the luggage, a fee for you to breathe the air while up in the sky, a fee not to have a 36-hour layover in Denver. All the costs and fees add up and suddenly, you're spending way more even though you have the cheapest ticket. That's kind of what this is, right? You may find a lower rate somewhere else, but with no costs, no fees, and when I say no, I mean no. When I say zero, I mean zero. Miller's rates often come out as the more attractive option. So give them a call when you're looking for a mortgage, when you're looking up interest rates. Give them a call, 919-447-3377. 3377. That's 919-447-3377, or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, that is millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. NC State starts their game in what are we looking about, 4, 5, 6 minutes, something along those lines?
Georgia Tech and Notre Dame went a little long, so you got to give time for warm-up. So probably another 20 minutes.
We make our ACC predictions. We preview the state game coming up next.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
With the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Something is new in Raleigh. Global Golf's retail location has been redesigned with you in mind. Now, North Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned golf gear is even bigger. We've added hundreds of pre-owned golf clubs to the sales floor. Global Golf has all the latest golf gear to get you ready for the season, and our PGA professionals are here to help you with fittings and lessons. And Saturday, March 16th is Global Golf's big sidewalk sale with unbelievable one-day-only specials. Global Golf, open Monday through Saturday, 10 till 6, 7320 ACC Boulevard, North Raleigh.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Tim Donnelly here for DraftKings Sportsbook. The wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR, is now live in North Carolina. Now you can legally bet on all your favorite sports anytime, anywhere, right here in North Carolina with DraftKings. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code TIMD, that's TIMD with no spaces, and bet $5 will receive $250 instantly in bonus bets. DraftKings has the best features, including same-game parlays, player props, and more, with fast and easy payouts right at your fingertips. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code TIMD and bet $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TIMD. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license.
Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a lifetime of pain-free possibilities.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. North Carolina State, they're going to be starting in just a few minutes in their ACC title quest up there in D.C. against Louisville. I'm going to say this as simply as I possibly can.
Go on.
They better win.
Yeah.
State better win for a whole host of options. You better win to send off your seniors in the right way. You better win to show that your program cares. You better win maybe to save Kevin Keats' job. You better win to prove that you had no business playing on Tuesday in the first place. You better win to show that the last 4 games, all losses, some of which could have been season vibe-changing wins, being ahead in North Carolina at half, jumping up 9-0 over Duke. Like the opportunities were there. You didn't take them. You better win to prove that those aren't indicative of a bigger problem. that they're not symptoms of a deeper metaphorical sickness and disease. You better win because it's Louisville. Louisville has had a very rough season, and you should prove that you're better than them. We don't know if DJ Horn's going to play. What we do know is DJ Horn is not in the starting lineup.
Yep, that's correct.
Team tweeted it out. Starters for Pack versus Louisville, Jaden Taylor,
Okay.
Michael O'Connell, Casey Morcell, Mohamed Diarra, DJ Burns.
Okay.
Jaden Taylor might have to step into a role that he, over the last 2 weeks, has been comfortable playing, which is flamethrower on offense, go be the leading scorer. But that is a role that was carved out for DJ Horn. Here's DJ Horn yesterday on how he felt at shoot-around.
Yeah, I feel like just some more treatment, some more rest and everything, just getting it, some more movement in the area would do me some justice, but really won't know until game time, until I can, really test and see how well I can move at full speed.
Dennis just informed me during that little audio break, he is warming up.
Yeah, our friend Casey Hintz from WREL Sports is up there in D.C. right now. She posted a video of DJ Horn actually taking jump shots during warm-ups.
Well, all right.
Looking loose.
I was going to say, you're going to have to give us, is there a limp? Is there
No, he's looking loose. I mean,
Okay.
he's dressed like he's going to play.
Do you know what's interesting? I always considered it this way. If a player is dealing with an injury and he looks good in warm-ups, I was inclined to make sure I started them. I don't want them to go sit on the bench and get stiff and wait till the first media timeout to bring them out. Like, if you're feeling good, we're riding that hot hand. Stay on out there, right? If you're out, you're on the bike. Your cardio isn't the part that's hurt. It's your ankle or whatever it is that's hurt. DJ Horn, here's the thing. His reputation, he is the all-ACC performer, right? Third team all-ACC by the league, second team by the Associated Press. He is the guy for state. He's been the leading scorer. He's a 16-plus points per game, and he had a stretch where he was 24-plus for, I think, 6 straight games. The guy can score. You almost need him out there, even if he's not 100% of himself, because he's one of the few players who you can't leave open on the three-point line. So let's say because DJ Horn is hurt, State's going full into the let's run this offense through DJ Burns. Guess who you need on the floor to let DJ Burns be effective? DJ Horn, because then the defense has to expand out to him and get a hand in his face on jumpers, even if he doesn't have the first step or he doesn't have the lateral quickness because of the injury. The guy can still catch and shoot. This is a test for Keats. How do you use him? If you use him, if he's not available, how do you make up for it? Jaden Taylor, how does the offense change when he's the go-to perimeter scorer? This is one of those, like, you have a plan for it throughout the season and you hope you never use it. Well, break glass in case of emergency, Tuesday of the ACC Tournament against Louisville. Let's see what you got. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We also want to make our picks for the ACC Tournament. Dennis and I want to be on record. I guess I'll get us started. Notre Dame's going to beat Georgia Tech.
No.
Free bingo square, baby.
Nailed it.
Give me that one. I'm 1-0. How do you want to do this? You want to pick our Final Four first?
Yeah, let's do Final Fours and then do championship.
Can I be a lame-o with a qualifier first?
Sure.
I was tempted to do the bracket thing where you fill out the first 2 rounds and of like you're in a bracket pool. I'm talking NCAA tournament, family pool, office pool, whatever it is. You fill out the first 2 rounds just quickly, and then you look at it and you go, I'm gonna have to start over. I've picked no upsets, right? You're like, this isn't fun, right? I've just gone chalk. So then you crumple it up, you print out another, and you pick a Louisiana Lafayette, right? I like Farley Dickinson or Fairleigh Dickinson.
Them too.
Whatever, however. Yeah, see, you don't have to know how to pronounce it. You just fill it in. FDU. Here's the way it works. I'm prefacing this with I feel very chalk with my picks. But I went back and I couldn't really wrap around how my Final Four is UNC versus Wake, and it's Duke versus Clemson.
Okay.
That's my Final Four. That's how I see it breaking down. I don't think those are surprising at all. I think that if that happens, there's a lot of people going like, well, we didn't have any Cinderellas this year. Obviously that means Pitt and UVA didn't make it in their top 4 seeds, but until like a week ago, they could have been 6 and 7 seeds. It was all very fluid. Those are the 4 teams that I think make it to the Final Four. Dennis, what do you have?
My Final Four, UNC, Pitt, Duke, Clemson.
See, we're both kind of chalky.
A little bit.
It doesn't feel like it's. I always want to be involved in the madness. I want to go like.
You want to cause chaos.
I want to cause chaos
with this.
I want Notre Dame in the Final Four.
Of course you do.
Like I want.
Why not? Right?
I want because it's March.
Yeah, why not?
Crazier things have happened. I want it. Who beats who in the finals? You take this one.
North Carolina over Clemson.
Ooh, so you have Clemson upsetting Duke.
I do.
Interesting.
North Carolina over Clemson.
I mean, I think I prefaced my whole pick thing here by saying I went chalky, so you know where this is going to go, right?
Okay.
It's UNC over Duke.
Okay.
I think Duke is like there are certain advanced analytics that really like Duke. ESPN, they do ESPN.com, do so many breakdowns, and there's a breakdown where you need to have this offense and this defense and this win and that win and da-da-da. And over the history of time, you've had only 8 teams, whatever, and they came up with, it is all on ESPN.com. You can check it out in the NCAA men's basketball section. They have 8 teams that they say, based on their analytics, can win. Duke is one of them. UNC is not. Now, that's a national championship. I think there's an argument that Duke is pretty good, right? I think there's an argument that if you sent them out into the wild of an NCAA tournament, if they're not in the same region, Duke may advance further. But I know this. I watched UNC dismantle Duke twice. Those 2 teams played each other on each other's floor, and Duke led for 16 seconds out of the 2 games. So, I think Duke beats Clemson. I think that'll be a hotly contested game. I think UNC beats Wake. I think UNC against Duke is just it's a situation where the matchup doesn't work in favor of Duke. And we had this debate around the office, and I will openly admit it's hard to beat a team 3 times. But when the way you're winning games is repeatable, when the way you're winning games feels sustainable, you're doing it with, one of your strengths happens to match up with one of their weaknesses, and it's not something they can go recruit in a new guy. They tried Sean Stewart in the post. He just fouled a bunch. I have to go UNC. Are they the top seed? Yes. Did I pick the top seed to beat the 2 seed in the finals? Also, yes. But I tried not to, and I want points for the effort.
Hey, that's fair. I respect it.
I tried not to.
I think there's going to be a point where, honestly, it would not shock me if Duke or Carolina loses before the championship. It would not surprise me one bit.
Both of them had bad losses in the ACC this year.
For sure, but also the teams that they would be competing against are way more desperate for wins than Duke and Carolina are right now. Because if Wake Forest plays against Carolina, they're throwing everything that they can at them. True. Because for them, it's if we win this game, we might be playing next week in the NCAA tournament. We're 1 of 68. Where Carolina, if they lose, you're still a 2 seed. Now, if Carolina wins the ACC tournament, they might bump their way up to a 1 seed. But if you're a 1 or 2, does it really matter that much? Duke's probably going to be a 2, maybe a 3. Does it really matter if you're a 2 or 3? Not really a whole lot.
I think conference championships matter, though.
I think they do, though.
I think ACC championship, I think that right there is enough to get Duke and Carolina locked in. That still doesn't – I wouldn't be surprised if they lose. I just don't know if it's like because Wake was more desperate or Pitt was more desperate. I think it's more like everybody's going to be desperate and there's other teams that can, they can win. Like they can win because they're a good team. It doesn't have to be some kind of lack of motivation.
One matchup I want to see, Wake versus Pitt. Because you can talk about 2 teams that are really scratching and clawing to get into the NCAA tournament. That's going to be a knockdown drag-out. I am looking forward to that game, and I hope it happens.
Yeah, I'm with it, and I want to see Blake Henson try to score his way out of a situation.
It would also require Wake Forest to win away from Winston-Salem.
Neutral court is a different beast. They're bad on the road, We don't know. Neutral court's a slightly different.
They were 1-2 this season on neutral courts.
But the 1-2 is not the 2-75 that they were on the road. It's a different beast. I'm not writing them off as a bad neutral court team yet. I reserve the right to change that opinion later on.
Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Loan Pronto. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement project. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Coming up next, we hear from you. It's Tuesday feedback coming up.
Hey guys, sound familiar? Your energy's not the same. The weight's starting to creep up. You're a little forgetful. And to make matters worse, you're not sleeping well. Well, it could be low T, but you shouldn't go one more day dealing with these symptoms. Help is available at QC Kinetics. They'll help diagnose the issue and get you back to feeling like yourself again. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. They use biologic treatments encouraging your body to optimize the hormone levels you need to boost stamina, provide more mental clarity, and improve your metabolism. It starts with a complimentary consultation and comprehensive exam. One quick office visit, and you'll have next steps to swing those hormone levels back into balance. All using the protocols QC Kinetics is known for around the country. Most importantly, you'll be back to yourself, and that's important. So call right now for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. Located in Raleigh, 919-400-5473.
Is your heating and air system ready for all weather? Call Newcomb & Company today to schedule a routine maintenance and ensure your system is operating at peak performance. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs for HVAC and plumbing work. Newcomb & Company has served the area as a Carrier Factory authorized dealer for more than 3 generations. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company and Carrier. Your comfort is our business.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets packed $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan here for FanDuel. And the wait is over, college hoops fans. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is officially live in North Carolina. And right now, new customers get $250 in bonus bets guaranteed when you bet your first $5. Just go to FanDuel.com/Paul, Paul with a capital P, and sign up. You can bet on everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will cut down the nets, all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. So take the court with $250 in bonus bets, win or lose, when you place your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/Paul and get started. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The Drive, Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We often ask you, and matter of fact, I'll ask you right now, to follow us on different social media platforms. 99.9 The Fan on a whole bunch of different social media platforms. And also, we ask you to subscribe on YouTube. We are barreling towards 10,000 subscribers. We want to get there as fast as we can. We have something kind of cool planned for when we do, and we're working on it behind the scenes. We'll let you know when we get closer what it is. But We also want to let you know that we're hearing you, we're seeing you, we're reading your comments. Dennis is constantly patrolling and letting us know what's going on in the our community that we're building online, and we're very, very appreciative for that. So every Tuesday about this time, we head to the interwebs. Dennis brings us our Tuesday feedback, and we react. Dennis, what do you have?
All right, so this actually came from our conversation earlier today about Brian Burns being traded. So this is actually just from the show earlier. People are already leaving comments on YouTube. According to Better Gaming 541, wondering, how is this Dan Morgan's fault? Referring to only get a second and a fifth. Scotty Tuhati, referring to Scott Fitter, great call, by the way. Scotty Tuhati had 2+ years to get a deal/trade done. Dan Morgan has had, 2+ weeks? And at what point is it too late?
Well, here's the thing. You can have two people that didn't do the best of their abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying Scott Fitterer did well and Dan Morgan ruined it. I'm saying Scott Fitterer did poorly, and Dan Morgan didn't salvage it as much as he could. And that's part of, like, being a GM is wearing a billion different hats. Part of it is evaluation, looking at a player. Is he a part of the future? Is he worth the money? Part of it is being a slick negotiator and making the Giants think they had to give you a second and a second, or a late first, or a future first. And making them believe that there is a market for your player, and heck, creating a market for your player, right? Maybe go get another team involved, right? I'm not saying Dan Morgan needed to come back with the exact offer that Scott Fitterer passed on a year and 6 months ago, or however long it was, the 2 first plus from the Rams. But I don't think a second and a fifth is enough. You can say both things. Scott Fitterer royally messed it up, and Dan Morgan didn't do as good of a job as he could cleaning up the mess. Right? It's not sports. There doesn't have to be a winner and a loser. You can have two guys that both ended up behind on the cards.
Also, on that same video, here's what someone said. This is what Tim Johnston had to say.
What's up, Tim?
Tim said they had 3 options, referring to the Panthers. 1 year on the franchise tag and basically get nothing for Burns. Or 2, overpay for Burns and limit on how you can fill the many other holes on the roster. 3rd, trade him for best offer, in this case the second rounder, maybe someone like Peyton Wilson, this is what he said, and add 2 quality starters at about $15 million a year. For a team at least 2 years away from success, option 3 was the best of the 3 bad options.
I still, why can't you just get more?
I mean, they could have got more. They probably would have.
I don't think he did as good of a job maximizing the return. I hear you on, rocking a hard place. I don't see how, the Giants turned around and gave him a boatload of cash, an unbelievable amount of cash. They love that guy. How do you not use that love to get you a little bit more? That's all I'm saying. Right? They turned around and gave him a boatload of money. You may say, well, that's why they didn't want to give it up. Well, that's also proof positive that they are smitten with Brian Burns. You really think they were going to walk away from the chance to get somebody that they're willing to pay $30 million a year over, I don't know, 5th rounder or a 3rd? No. The other thing is, you could have waited till closer to the season to trade him. Right? Am I crazy there? Could you wait until the deadline? Is there a rule on the tag that you can't do that? You can't wait till somebody hits the nearing the trade deadline and then say contender who thinks you're Brian Burns away from the championship?
I think the hang up, there are 2 things on that. One, if he gets injured,
yes,
there's always the massive risk. But because he's on a franchise tag, I think the rules still apply if you trade him. You can't work out a long-term contract.
No, you'd be trading him as a mercenary.
Well, I know, but if I'm going to give up something for him, I want to be able to negotiate a long-term deal with him, not wait till after the season.
Yeah,
I want that guarantee. If I'm trading for him, that's a massive risk on my end to give up more, and I can't even negotiate with him until after the year. I could see why teams will be reluctant to do that.
If you think he's going to win you a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that's a massive if. If you're tearing it down, tear it down.
For a second rounder?
But again, it's a massive if on
second
what you're going to get.
And a future second. Again, we're not talking about trading for Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson and you're giving away 3 firsts and a billion trillion picks. It's Brian Burns, according to the Giants, is the second most valuable edge rusher in the league. Money talks. You got a second and a 5th for him. I don't think that's enough. What else you got?
All right, this actually goes back to our conversation we had yesterday regarding Duke and North Carolina, how North Carolina got their 84-79 win over Duke at Cameron. This comes from Ron Winter. His worst fear was that North Carolina would come out hot and Duke would have to fight to get back into it, and then that Duke would fade late. Worst fear confirmed.
That's a very specific worst fear, and that came exactly true. It's like my worst fear. Well, it would be a spider inside my car during a snowstorm, and I skid off the edge, and I'm stuck in a ravine, and I don't know where the spider is, and like that exact thing happening. That's just bad luck. The fact of the matter is Duke fought back to get back in that game, and then they couldn't finish the job. I think a lot of it has to do with toughness down low. I think a lot of it has to do with post defense, and I think a lot of it has to do with Cormac Ryan catching absolute fire. One of those things I think you can control. The other, you just got to kind of try to curtail or contain. But it was no doubt a rough game for Duke.
All right, this one comes from what we talked about, R.J. Davis winning ACC Player of the Year and Hubert Davis winning Coach of the Year. This one comes from Dustin. I'll say, I'll spare us the rest of his name. We'll just say Dustin. Just go ahead and give North Carolina everything this year. I bet you anything this team won't even make the Elite Eight this year.
Anything?
Yeah.
Anything?
He said, I'll bet you anything that they won't make the Elite Eight this year.
That sounds like an open, a blank check. Anything?
Mm-hmm.
What are we giving odds? You sound pretty confident there.
Said anything.
You're pretty darn confident there.
Wow, what you gonna take?
I don't know. I'll put my $10 against you having to come on the station and sing Whitney Houston.
Okay. Whitney Houston it is.
I get to pick the song.
Okay.
No, my point is, like, are you surprised that the number one seed in the ACC tournament was celebrated in the postseason awards? I'm fine. Like, R.J. Davis is the ACC Player of the Year. Are you saying that shouldn't have happened? Who would you give it to instead? Like, he is, like, that one to me is kind of inarguable. Hubert Davis, I think there's a couple other options for Coach of the Year. I think Capel, I think Stoudemire, as we said yesterday, both I believe have a decent case, but it's not horrendous that the guy that took a team that didn't make the tournament last year and is now the number one seed in the ACC tournament is Coach of the Year. Like, listen, I get fandom. You can complain about a lot of things. I don't know if that's one of them. What else you got for us?
All right, last one comes from McCall. Again, talking Carolina Panthers. This is actually the segment we posted about how the Carolina Panthers signed Robert Hunt. They cut Bradley Bozeman and so on and so forth, just some of the different moves that they made. As a Panthers fan, this comes from McCall. As a Panthers fan, bleep the Panthers until I see something good. We just got rid of Bell, Louvu, and Burns, three of our best players from last year. Also, Louvu was underappreciated, just like running back Mike Foreman from a year ago. It sucks. And a second and a fifth. Enough said.
That's fair. I'm not, like, I think that some of it could be a little addition by subtraction. It gives you an opportunity to do other things. Mm-hmm. But I'm not telling you you're wrong to feel any of the ways you felt right there. As a fan, I'm not going to argue at all. You are validated. I'm validating you.
They've traded away McCaffrey, DJ Moore, and now Brian Burns over like 3 straight seasons.
This is like the cliche where, you know, the wife is saying, like, I don't need you to fix my problems. I just want you to listen.
Yep.
I'm hearing you. I'm listening. I understand it must be tough for you right now.
McCaffrey, Moore, Burns. They traded those 3 guys over the last several seasons, right? In return, plus a bunch of, draft picks and so on and so forth. You know, the only players that they have from all those trades, what they have on their roster right now, DJ Johnson.
I was going to say DJ Johnson.
And Bryce Young.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow.
That's it. You traded away Christian McCaffrey, Brian Burns, DJ Moore, and a bunch of other picks.
You still have at least one pick coming, right?
You still have a couple.
Yeah. All right.
Because
so you got a handful of Magic Beans, DJ Johnson, and Bryce Young.
Hope those beans grow into something.
Magic Beanstalk, baby.
That's all you can.
Magic Beanstalk. By the way, if you're paying attention to the ACC tournament, Louisville had 16-10 about 5 minutes into the game on NC State. So State has to make a bit of a comeback.
Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Capital Buy Sell Trade. They're located on Glenwood Avenue right here in Raleigh. Largest sneaker store in the state of North Carolina. I say that with facts because they have over 1,000 shoes on the wall at Capital Buy Sell Trade. So if you want to flex your fandom for all the conference tournaments, postseason stuff, maybe it's your favorite hockey or basketball team, head over to Capital Buy Sell Trade. They got something there for you. And it's more than just sneakers. It's vintage clothing. They have streetwear. They have a whole bunch of different stuff for you on the wall. They got skate decks. You name it. Capital Buy Sell Trade is the place for you to go. I shop there because I trust what I'm getting. I know it's a quality product. I know they have an awesome selection over there at Capital Buy Sell Trade. It's the reason why I've got up to about nearly 40 pairs of sneakers now. But I've gotten them from Capital Buy Sell Trade, and that's the number one place that you need to go to. Capital BST, again, located on Glenwood Avenue, right here in Raleigh, locally owned and operated. So check them out on Instagram at Capital BST 919.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The starting five is coming up next, including an update into the ongoing ACC Tournament next.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the FSA 57 battery trimmer set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. With AK-10 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
At Bet365, they don't do ordinary. They believe that every sport should be epic. Every point, every game, every layup, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. See for yourself when you sign up today. And you'll get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, official partner of the Charlotte Hornets. 21 plus only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543. Or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Bobby Joe absolutely hated her job.
Can't hate that job any more than I do.
So, time for one of those fancy tech schools?
No, I could never afford that. I'm going to Sharky's.
Sharky's?
Yeah, no better place to relax. Great food, cold beer, good whiskey, darts, billiards.
So now you love your job?
No, I still hate my job, but I loves me some Sharky's. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, everybody loves Sharky's. Sharky's Place, one of the best neighborhood bars in the world. 5800 Durley Road by the Shell Station.
Don't you love an extra $100 in your pocket? Have a TurboTax expert file your taxes for you by March 31st to get $100 back instantly. Because no matter what moves you made last year, TurboTax makes them count. That means getting $100 back and 100% accurate taxes only from Intuit TurboTax. Must file by 3/31. Credit only applicable to federal filing fees with TurboTax full service. Offer can be modified or terminated at any time.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Earlier, I asked you, what do you want to talk about? And you said everything, but you want to get more specific than just everything.
I want to talk about the gutter helmets because last time I was here, I remember you saying your wife made you get in a bucket of a tractor to clean out gutters. I'm hoping you have our gutter helmets.
Well, not yet. But,
all right. Well, I'm coming to see you.
All right. Well, the bucket of the tractor is perfect for me. I just fit right in it. It's very cool.
Well, we do sell gutter helmets. We can come out to your home and do an assessment of your gutters. If your gutters are in good shape, you could use your gutters and we can put the gutter helmet right on your existing. But if they're in bad shape or you've got rotten, deteriorated wood, we can also handle all that as well. So just give us a call. We'll come out and do an assessment of your gutters and get you some pricing and right on the spot.
Everything for the exterior of your home, and you don't do anything for the bucket of our tractor, correct?
I will get in it with you to help you install the new gutter helmets.
There's only room for me in the bucket of the tractor. That's Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You find him at aluminumcompany.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
You can feel the madness!
Go to GotBrian.com. That's GotBrian.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. We're at the start of a warm spell that will carry on through the weekend. It was in the 70s this afternoon, mostly clear 43 tonight, 76 with sunshine tomorrow. How about 81 on Thursday?
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 235 points to 39,005. Market update brought to you by The Dugout Tavern and Grill, #1 sports bar in Apex and your March Hoops headquarters.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting 5. Let's start with number 5. I was about to jump in and sing it myself. First of all, Dennis and I will be at the ACC Tournament beginning tomorrow. We'll be waking up bright and early to drive to D.C., all for you. Also, you have the latest insight and impact and questions and observations from the tourney. The question has quickly become, will NC State still be there when we get there?
We might.
Should we high five on the road in passing as they're driving back to Raleigh?
I don't know. By the time this game ends, they might be in Raleigh at 11 o'clock tonight.
Louisville 23, NC State 14 as it sits right now. Do you know what I see? And I have the game here on in the studio. I see a team that is pressing with DJ Horn not playing. DJ Horn, by the way, after warming up, and Dennis gave us the update on the video, didn't look like he was limping, was getting shots up. Corey Smith, friend of the program, editor Pack Pride, has tweeted out that DJ Horn is on the NC State bench, but not wearing basketball shoes. Looks like they're, if not a fashion expert, looks like they may be some form of Croc.
Okay.
Maybe an off-brand Croc. Again, I don't know. Don't quote me.
Maybe some Yeezy slides, maybe?
Perhaps, yeah. I don't even know what that means.
I do.
But what I see is State is shooting 5 of 13 right now in the first 8 minutes of the game. Jaden Taylor and Casey Morcell, the two perimeter players that probably put themselves in the pressure situation of filling in for the production of DJ Horn, are a combined 1 for 7. So, right, I can do some math taking that away. 4 for 6 elsewhere, right? Everybody else is actually doing halfway decent. Breon passes in the game, knocks down a 3. Ben Middlebrooks has gotten to the free throw line. O'Connell's 1 for 1. DJ Burns 1 for 1. Mo Diarra 1 for 1. So I think the two guys that maybe came in with like, DJ Horn's not here, give me the ball, I'll be the perimeter scorer we need, maybe you're pressing a little bit and just need to let the game come to them. If they're going to make up this 9-point deficit, still plenty of time. You know, if this were a basketball league that used quarters, you would say they're nearing the end of the first quarter. Still a lot of basketball to be played. If you're out at the ACC tournament tomorrow, or the next day, stop by and say hi.
Yeah, let us know.
We'll be looking to chat. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen. Woo!
Carolina Hurricanes play tonight.
Yeah, they do.
They're at home. They're against the Rangers. And Jake Guentzel, the addition of the free agency deadline. I got my sports confused. Of the trade deadline, yes. Jake Guentzel.
The Jake Guentzel. The
top forward, probably available on the trade market as a whole at the deadline.
Oh, yeah.
That the deal was worked out for the Canes to go all in for the Cup this year. He skated. He's been dealing with an injury, going back to prior to his time with the Canes. But he skated at morning skate today. Here's Rod Brindamore on if Guentzel will play.
I think there's a real good possibility. Take warm-up and see where we go, but all indications are I think he will.
The indication... I'm trying.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Sometimes it's like, what do you say when you know he's going to play, but you can't say that you know he's going to play? I'd probably say something like what Rod just said. But we can't 100% dive into that. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a... My gut says he's going to play.
Yeah.
And my gut says that's going to be really exciting.
It's one of those... It's like the worst kept secret in the world type
Exactly,
deals.
yeah.
It's like, you know what? You skated a morning skate, and we made you available to talk to the media after about, hey, you might play tonight.
And we skated you alongside Kuzi and Natchez in that morning skate.
We worked you on a power play
and
unit.
you were working on the second power play unit.
Yeah.
And we didn't trade for you to not play.
Exactly.
Like, it's against the Rangers. This one's kind of important. These are kind of the games we can beat Calgary without you.
Yeah.
We need you for the Rangers game. Go make something happen. Dennis, you going multi-point night for Guentzel?
Yeah, let's go hat trick. Let's go.
Hat trick.
Why not?
Natural?
Of course.
First period?
Yes. Same shift. Let's go.
Oh, goodness. Why not? Why not? That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
Actually, going back to number 4 for a second here.
Yeah.
Hockey Night in Carolina. You can always hear it right here, 99.9 The Fan.
6:30 Storm Watch.
There you go. Just a little programming note. We are your home for the Canes, as always. Be sure to keep your dial tuned right here. Now to number 3. Little bit of update from the There's a... you ready for this? This is an analogy. I had a buddy listen to the show yesterday, and he was giving me a hard time about my Golden Gate analogy.
Okay.
Buckle up for this one.
All right.
Have you seen, it's like the world's longest movie. It used to run on VH1, and it was like a history of the Temptations. Have you ever seen this?
No, I've not.
It's got to be like a 4-hour movie.
Okay.
But it's just an in-depth Temptations. And at one point, there's a line where Otis, who's kind of like the main temp, keeps getting in fights with people, right? David Ruffin leaves, Paul leaves, Eddie leaves, and they're replacing them with new temps. And at one point, there's a big blow-up fight, and the line is, pretty soon there's going to be more ex-temps than temps. I'm looking at the Panthers going, pretty soon there's going to be more ex-Panthers contributors than current Panthers contributors. Pretty soon there's going to be more recently moved on from players I was excited about for the Panthers than there will be current Panthers that I'm excited about. Jeremy Chin agreed to a 1-year deal with the Washington Commanders. Max value of a little more than $5.1 million. Nikki Jobval of the Washington Post, her sources confirmed.
That breaks my heart.
That's Luvu and Chin.
That breaks my heart. Gosh, they misused Jeremy Chin this past season. Golly, did they ever.
We should go back and hear what our preseason takes were going into Panthers season, because my guess is, like when we did Panthers cons and cons, what are you most concerned about? What are you most confident about? Particularly until we saw how they were going to use those couple of players, Chin and Luvu might have been our 2 most consistent I'm confident in.
Yeah.
Now they're both Commanders.
According to Jordan Schultz of Bleacher Report, Jeremy Chin had multiple offers, but wanted to join Dan Quinn's defense after seeing his recent success with the Cowboys. Dan Quinn, the new head coach of the Washington Commanders.
I get it. Jeremy Chin is one of those players that he brings a particular skill set, right? I have a particular set of skills.
Mm-hmm.
You do need someone to use you correctly, right? There's some square peg, round hole stuff that can happen where it makes it look like he's no good. If you're asking him to play too much of a traditional safety, you're not bringing him down into the box. You're not letting him be physical. You're not letting him occasionally rush the passer. Like, if you don't use him in the right way with his versatility, it does look like he might not be the player. But I'm confident there is a really good player in there. And Washington, especially if Dan Quinn can unlock it, might have gotten a steal there for the upcoming year.
And you know what? If he has a good season this year in Washington, because it's only on a 1-year contract, he can get paid big time.
And he should move on from the Panthers because Evero, his style doesn't use him, right? Yeah. It's like having a fullback on a team that's like, we're 5 wide. It's like, okay, well, what are you going to do with a fullback? Let him go to somewhere where they run smash mouth. There it is.
There's no guarantees about what he's going to do as a player, but I guarantee someone's going to win a custom Hurricanes Harley-Davidson motorcycle. That I can guarantee. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. The Law Tigers, Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson, Shiny Side Paint, your Carolina Hurricanes, they're all teaming up to give the ultimate Canes fan a custom Hurricanes 2023 Harley-Davidson Softail motorcycle. It's an absolutely gorgeous bike, and someone will win it. But you have to enter in today. Do it now because the bike's going to be given away live on the ice on April 5th. You want to win this bike, right? Enter today. Don't wait any longer. Go to caniacsbike.com. That's caniacsbike.com for your chance to win this custom-painted beauty of a bike. Do it now. Enter today. caniacsbike.com. If you win the bike, let me know. I'm probably going to be on the ice there with you when the bike's given away on April 5th. We'll ride together. That's all I'm going to say. We'll ride together. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
We've gotten through 3 parts of our starting fives. Number 1 and number 2 are coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, can I get a scratch off?
Whoa, time out.
Who are you?
I'm your Play Smarts champ. I'm here to help you make informed decisions before you play the lottery. Do you know how the odds work?
Not really.
Well, every scratch-off has the odds of winning printed on the back. And the odds show us how many winners there are overall in the game, but not where we'll find them.
So buying tickets in a row doesn't guarantee that one of them will be a winner.
That's right, Chief. Winning is random.
Got it, Coach.
When you play the lottery, play smart. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, it's me. Your future you. You made bad credit card moves. Got no rewards to use. Ugh. Should've compared cards with the nerds and got the cash back you deserve. Now you have to stand to see your favorite band while your friends all got VIP wristbands. Don't make your future you hate you.
Compare and find top credit cards today with NerdWallet. NerdWallet. Finance smarter.
The moment you've waited for is here. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today using code NEWNC. When you place your first bet of $10 or more, win or lose, you'll get $250 in bonus bets. Must be 21 or older and physically present in NC. New users only, including coming soon participants who registered accounts before 3/11, ends 4/30. Each bonus bet expires 14 days after receipt and amount not returned for winning bets. Void where prohibited. Full terms at Caesars.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Where's me shamrock?
Everybody's Irish at Hibernian Pub's St. Patrick's Day celebrations. This year, there's double the Irish with 2 parties.
Come out for a wee drum.
Saturday, March 16th, Hibernian takes over Glenwood South, starting at noon with live music, Irish dancers, bagpipers, and great food and drinks to celebrate all day. Then, Sunday, March 17th, there's a live DJ party with bagpipers and Irish dancers on North Street, next to Hibernian Pub on Glenwood, starting at noon. Get details at hibernianpub.com.
Academy Sports and Outdoors is the sporting goods store that's all about fun. And a new location is coming to Knightdale. With great brands at the best prices, you'll always find the gear you need to play the games you love and enjoy your favorite outdoor activities with your favorite people. Academy has it all in store and online. No matter how you have fun out there, your next adventure starts here. Your new Academy Sports and Outdoors store is coming soon to Knightdale. Until then, check out academy.com.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
I wish I could get this stupid jar open.
Jars can be tough, am I right?
Who are you? And how'd you get in my kitchen?
It's me, Flo, and I'm here to grant your wish of easily switching to Progressive and helping you get a discount that honors the time spent with your previous insurer.
Great, but what does that have to do with getting this jar open?
Nothing.
So you can't open this?
Oh, I just do insurance. Jars I leave to the professionals.
Sign up for Progressive and opt into more savings. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. NC State, give them some credit. They're not rolling over. They found themselves down double digits in the ACC Tournament opener against Louisville, and they're not rolling over. Matter of fact, here as we get the starting five started back up, that's number 2.
Just the two of us.
NC State, as it stands right now, they're down 4, 32-28 to Louisville. But they did kind of react very quickly to what we were talking about prior to the break. Jaden Taylor and Casey Morrisell aren't having a great day shooting the ball. They are a combined 2 of 9 and 0 of 6 from 3. And I do think part of that is because DJ Horn is not playing in the game, and they're pressing a little bit, trying to be the leading scorers on the perimeter. Or you might say maybe Louisville is able to focus in on them more because DJ Horn isn't out there. However, some other guys have stepped up. Michael O'Connell, he knocked down a 3. He's 3 for 3. Breon Pass off the bench, 2 for 2 from 3. Now they work their way, a little defense to offense, and it's a 2-point game. You know who's hustling out there? And this is kind of his MO?
Tell me.
Ben Middlebrooks.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to be a frustrating player to play against. Just hands, limbs all over the place. I'm going to read you his stat sheet right now. He's 0 for 2, but he has 3 points because he's gotten to the free throw line. He has 3 rebounds, 2 offensive. He has 2 assists. He has 2 steals.
Okay.
He's kind of just in the mix. And he didn't start. He came off the bench. So you know, the effort is there from the squad. I do think most of the mistakes they've made early are effort mistakes, which are way better than mental or focus mistakes, right? Other than that, it's a 2-point game after finding themselves down double figures early on. I don't want to say you're okay with that, but you got to respect the fight, right? They have not given up. You're playing on a Tuesday, the ACC tournament. You find yourself down double figures. There has to be some kind of gut instinct to just go, you know what? This year was fun. I'd like to go home now. But they're not doing that. They're fighting to stick around tomorrow. And as I said earlier, we will be there tomorrow at the ACC tournament. If State is playing, we'll be there to watch. If they're not, we'll be there to watch whoever else is playing.
We'll be there to watch Louisville.
We'll be there to watch Louisville.
And Notre Dame, who won earlier today against Georgia Tech.
Which, when we booked all the travel and everything, there was an assumption, like State was borderline going to be a Thursday team, let alone a Wednesday, and they ended up a Tuesday team. So we anticipated being there for their entire ACC tournament run. What do you want from us?
By the way, we will have the late games when Syracuse, whomever they play, and Clemson, whomever they play. We'll have both those games here on the Fan tomorrow as well.
Should be fun. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The one!
Brian Burns was traded yesterday. He was traded to the Giants for a second rounder and a 5th rounder. Hey, that boo better come with some context. Yeah, but I don't hate that they traded Brian Burns. I hate that I don't feel they got enough back for him, but I understand what Dave Canales and Dan Morgan are doing. They are exercising the option that you only have with true job security, which is you're kind of choosing to be worse next year. It's very, very difficult for somebody to convince me that the Panthers will be better next year when they've essentially taken the core of their defense away. And I'm not just saying Brian Burns. I'm saying Frankie Louvu. I'm saying Von Bell. I'm saying Dante Jackson. I'm saying, even Gross Matos signed a 2-year deal. I think it was with the Niners. And if you look at the edge rushers right now for the Panthers, you'd go, those are some nice special teamers. It'd be very hard-pressed for somebody to convince me that the moves they've made thus far this offseason, thus far this free agency period since tampering opened yesterday, have been to win next year. There will be a point, and it might come soon, where the Panthers next, the Dan Morgan, Dave Canales, the alignment, are going to be asked to go win football games. Right? And I believe that'll start in 2025. 2024 is kind of the last chance you have if you're going to burn it down, to burn it down. If you're going to knock it down to rebuild it, you can knock it down to rebuild it right now. So they're exercising that right. As I've said time and time and time again, the knocking down is the easy part. The hard part is finding the next Brian Burns. The hard part is finding the next Frankie Louvu. Just think of those two guys. Could not come upon them any differently, right? Frankie Louvu was a guy who had shown potential, but he was a special teamer. I think he was with the Jets. You brought him in on a next to nothing deal. He developed into one of the best players on your defense. He had 200 tackles, 10-plus sacks in the last 2 years combined. Brian Burns, on the other hand, first-round pick out of Florida State, right? Could not find them any more differently. Like the avenues you found those two guys. But they both turned into main contributors for your defense. And I don't care how you stumble upon them. Main contributors on your defense, you don't move on from very often. Not by choice. But when you do it, you're as the kids say, standing on business. Dan Morgan and Dave Canales are saying, we're not going to miss them, and we're going to be better without them. Right? That $12 million a year that we could have spent on Frankie Louvu, we're going to spend on someone else, and it's going to make us a better team in the long run. That's the hard part.
Short-term pain for long-term gain
is the goal.
That's the goal. That's the plan.
It could be short-term gain for more long-term gain. That's like the Christian McCaffrey deal. Now, I know that's the previous regime, but that's a good example of short-term pain for long-term pain, right? You made a trade to send away one of your best players, one of your fan favorites. All those jerseys with McCaffrey on the back suddenly were outdated and stale. And the promise was you got this magic beans pile of draft picks. Didn't turn into much.
Nope.
So that went long-term pain followed to short-term pain. That's what you need to avoid. So right now, Dave Canales and Dan Morgan are saying the $30 million that we chose not to spend per year on Brian Burns, we'll have something awesome earmarked for it. And it might be those two interior offensive linemen that they've already signed. What is it, Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt? A lot of the money might directly translate there, and they're saying, like, stand on business. That'll help our team more than Brian Burns would have. And we have a second-round pick that we're going to go do something with. Maybe that's your number one wide receiver. And you have a fifth-round pick. Who knows what you do with that? Maybe that's a slot corner. But you are standing on business saying you can pass on the sure thing. Brian Burns and Frankie Louvu are sure things. They are good NFL players. How good, you can debate, but there's no debate that they are good. They are good NFL players you've moved on from.
There's a reason why they got paid.
Now you have to find your own good players, and that's the hard part. Also the fun part, but that's the hard part, right? You don't become a GM to just go, I'm just going to extend everybody that I inherited, and I'm then going to sit in the booth with the owner on game day. Like you become a GM to make those decisions and evaluations. That's the fun part, but it's also the high-risk part.
There's a reason why you have that job.
Yeah, the reason why the pitcher wants the ball on the mound. It's so the whole game, right, nobody moves till you throw it. The Panthers are not going to be good until Dan Morgan assembles a good roster. That's all you have. That's all you can do. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Want to tell you about my friends over at Window Nation. It is March. The weather is changing. I feel like every day I go home, especially now that daylight savings passed, I'm either like, let's go play outside, it's beautiful, or taking my jacket off when I get inside, right? The weather is changing, sun, rain, wind. You don't realize how much strain that puts on your windows, and you don't realize how much you need the top quality windows to make sure your dollars are being stretched as far as they possibly can. Are you frustrated by higher and higher heating bills and soon to be higher and higher cooling bills as it gets hotter and hotter outside? That's where it comes in. That's where Window Nation comes in. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free right now and see 20, 30, 35% of your energy bills go away. Right? Your windows, you don't think about it. They can make money for you, in reality, savings, but you get what I'm saying. 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 24 months. They can install your new windows in 1 day or less. They come with a lifetime warranty. Window Nation's windows come with a lifetime warranty. So crazy, I have a hard time saying it. Get a free, no obligation quote. It's easy. Call 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com to schedule your consultation now. windownation.com. We also need numbers game contestants. $25 gift card to Sharky's Sports Bar and Grill on the line. Voted best wings, best sports bar, best neighborhood bar. Sharky's. It's just the best. If you want to play, 919-860-5326. Call in now. 919-860-5326. We need 2 contestants to play the numbers game coming up next.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's tickets pack $370 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 2.93 to 4.24. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's bow time. Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
Ooh, with the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. And it's bow time.
There's no time like Bojangler time. Time to stop whatever you're doing and head over to Bojangles to try the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. You heard right, the Bojangler Fish Fillet Sandwich. A perfectly seasoned, light, flaky, wild-caught Alaskan pollock fish fillet sandwich. For limited time at participating Bojangles. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Is your heating and air system ready for all weather? Call Newcomb & Company today to schedule a routine maintenance and ensure your system is operating at peak performance. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs for HVAC and plumbing work. Newcomb & Company has served the area as a Carrier Factory authorized dealer for more than 3 generations. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company and Carrier. Your comfort is our business.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more. Up to $100. Ends 4/6. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Progressive presents advice on new teen drivers.
You know, the hardest part about teaching your teen to drive is the chafing from the seatbelt. But the best part is the grip strength you build in your knuckles. Okay, now let's pull out of the driveway.
Here's another tip. Offset a chunk of the cost of adding a teen to your insurance with Progressive's Teen Driver Discount and get a break from the brake. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. One of my favorite times of the show. And on the line today, meaning a prize that is on the line today, is a $25 Sharkies gift card, which will go to either Chris in Raleigh or is that Al on I-540? Calling from the road. I appreciate it. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to ask a question. We're going to pick whichever answer we like best. That person will get to go first, and then you'll both have a chance to win the Sharkies gift card playing the numbers game. Chris in Raleigh. I don't know where you're from. I don't know if you travel often, but Dennis and I are going to be in D.C. starting tomorrow. What's the coolest thing to do in D.C.?
I'd have to say the unmanned tomb. The guarded.
All right.
Unnamed tomb.
Kind of that's like a really cool kind of bone or chicken skin opportunity, right?
Yeah, Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers. Yep.
There you go. Al on I-540. We appreciate you for calling in. Same question to you. What's the coolest thing to do in D.C.?
Oh, the cigar bar where all the senators and congressmen go. I went to it, and it was off the chain.
All right. You know, you're up against a tough one. When you talk about the tomb, that's going to kind of trump it. But I like your enthusiasm, and I have to be honest, I didn't know the cigar bar was a thing. Maybe I'll check it out when we're there. Maybe Dennis and I will have to go make some moves and shakers with some movers and shakers. You know what I mean?
I don't smoke cigars.
Well,
but I'll still go.
I was going to say we can fake it.
I'll shake hands.
You can hold one. Chris and Raleigh, you get to go first. Pick your category. The categories for today are NFL Williams. They're all players whose last name's Williams. NFL Hello M. All players whose last name starts with M. NBA under 35. That's all jersey numbers 35 or less. And NHL Canes and Whalers only. Which one do you like?
Let's go with the NFL W. Is that what you said? Williams. I'm sorry.
Williams. All right, NFL Williams. These are all players with the last name Williams. I'll give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. You do have one pass if you choose to use it. Any last-second questions?
Nope.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. D'Angelo Williams, Carolina Panthers.
31.
Incorrect. Mike Williams, Los Angeles Chargers.
18.
Incorrect. D'Angelo Williams, Carolina Panthers.
32.
Incorrect. Mike Williams, Los Angeles Chargers.
Pass.
Ricky Williams, Miami Dolphins.
51.
Incorrect. D'Angelo Williams, Carolina Panthers.
29.
Incorrect. Mike Williams, Los Angeles Chargers.
Wow.
That was a rough one. I'm not going to lie. That was a rough one. Hopefully you had fun. We'll see if it holds up. The bit of entertainment that you do give me when you go over is me getting to watch Dennis through the producer's glass here. It's like he's taking body blows early in a boxing fight. D'Angelo Williams, number 34 with the Panthers. Mike Williams, number 81 with the Chargers. Ricky Williams with the Dolphins wore number 34 also. Unfortunately, you didn't get any. Fortunately, if there's another offer, a tie goes to whoever goes first. So you still have a chance, Chris, all right? All right, sit on the line. Al, I-540, how are you doing?
I'm extremely nervous.
All right, well, you only need one to win. The categories remain NFL Hello M. That's all last names that start with M. NBA jerseys, all 35 or less. And NHL Canes and Whalers only.
We'll try the NFL.
NFL Hello M. All of these players have last names that start with the letter M. I'll give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number. Work as quickly as you can because there's 30 seconds on the clock. You do have one pass if you'd like it. Any questions?
No.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Joe Montana, San Francisco 49ers.
16.
Correct. Doug Martin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Pass.
Santana Moss, Washington Redskins.
81.
Incorrect. Eric Moulds, Buffalo Bills.
Who?
Eric Moulds, Buffalo Bills.
You know what? I already got one. I'll say 2.
Incorrect. Doug Martin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
4.
Incorrect. Santana Moss, Washington Redskins.
80.
Incorrect. Eric Moulds, Buffalo Bills.
205.
That is a funny strategy you got there. You did get one. You got Joe Montana. That's enough for the win. First of all, Eric Moulds is a good player. All right, I won't tell him that you hit him with the who, like he could be anybody. But Joe Montana wore 16. You got that one right. Doug Martin, a.k.a. the Muscle Hamster, wore number 22. Santana Moss, the U, wore number 89 with Washington. And Eric Moulds wore number 80. You did guess 80 for Moss, but not for Moulds. Either way, you get the win. You get the $25 gift card. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Me and my brother-in-law, we really enjoyed the show coming home from work, so we appreciate you.
Oh, thank you very much. You know what? I take back all that stuff about not being not knowing them right now. Now it's when you're nice, you're nice. Thank you very much for listening. I appreciate that. In all seriousness, I really do appreciate both you and your brother-in-law for listening. So thank you, and hopefully you enjoy the gift card. We were on a heater there for a little bit. Last week into the early part of this week, we were on a little bit of a heater. We've cooled off just a tad. Just a tad. Speaking of cooling off, I don't know if this was Louisville cooling off or if it was more NC State kind of getting things rolling. But at halftime, State trails Louisville just by 1 after, let me bring up I think it got as high as 13, which is a rougher look. They were down, let's see here, 12. Yeah, they were down 12 with about halfway through the first half, and State clawed their way back into it to be down just 1. I mean, that's good basketball, right? And also it does show a little bit of, I don't want to over-dramatize it. It's Louisville. Louisville is 3-17 in conference. So, again, I don't want to over-dramatize it. Next year, right, with Cal and Stanford and SMU in the tournament, there's a good chance if Louisville puts in a similar effort this year that they do not make the ACC tournament. But there's something to be said for getting punched in the mouth and not falling down, right? There's something to be said for getting put on the mat early and standing up and landing your landing your rebuttals, landing your counters. So State, they're down 1 at half. If they play like they did the second half of the first half, after halftime, they'll advance, and we'll see them in DC tomorrow. The flip side is it can't just be a 10-minute lock-in, right? It can't just be 10 minutes of finding a way to get something done. It has to be a complete game. Breon Pass off the bench, knocking down a couple threes. I don't know if you can depend on that. Pass is a good player, though, and he's had a few times this year where he came off the bench and did some things. I'm going to echo a lot of what I said at the beginning of the game. State better win. Right? I put it that simply. I said they better win, and I listed 7 reasons right off the top of the dome on why they better win. I guess I should have been more specific and said, like, they better win without making it way too dramatic. They better win without falling behind 12 in the first half.
Hey, just win.
I do think there is part of that is just win. Survive in advance. Obviously, they know all about that. But yikes, it was ugly there for a little bit. How about this? How about getting a hand in Sky Clark's face?
Nah, why would you do that?
He started like 5 for 5. He at least cooled off a little bit. But yeah, Louisville's doing their thing. Do we have something we need to tell them about, Dennis? DraftKings. That's exactly. I'm excited to tell them about that. DraftKings here on. I'm Tim Donnelly for DraftKings. The wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of NASCAR, is now live in North Carolina. I had people texting me asking for promo codes. They were asking for how they can get the proper bonus bets and everything else. I'll break it down for you. For a limited time, new customers who sign up with promo code TIMD, T-I-M-D, when you sign up for your account, and then all you have to do is bet $5. So the first time you bet at least $5, you will receive $200 instantly in bonus bets. There's a couple of cool promos. There's a couple of cool things they're running. Just go down to the rewards section, bottom right tab on your app, explore it, see what's tickling your fancy. There's a whole bunch of different odds boosts and everything else in there. DraftKings has the best features, including same-game parlays, player props, and more, with fast and easy payouts right at your fingertips. Obviously, conference tournaments are going on. Obviously, the Canes play tonight. Those are all opportunities for you to maybe place your first bet on DraftKings Sportsbook here in North Carolina. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now using code TIMD, T-I-M-D, and bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code TIMD. That is T-I-M-D with no spaces. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook/NC. NASCAR is not a sponsor of this promotion and used under license. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, free agency has already been crazy. Who would have guessed Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold would be starters in the NFL back when they were getting benched in Carolina? Stick around.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Something is new in Raleigh. Global Golf's retail location has been redesigned with you in mind. Now, North Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned golf gear is even bigger. We've added hundreds of pre-owned golf clubs to the sales floor. Global Golf has all the latest golf gear to get you ready for the season, and our PGA professionals are here to help you with fittings and lessons. And Saturday, March 16th is Global Golf's big sidewalk sale with unbelievable one-day-only specials. Global Golf, open Monday through Saturday, 10 till 6, 7320 ACC Boulevard, North Raleigh.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards, get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you could start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So, get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The Dugout Tavern and Grill, #1 sports bar in Apex, and your March Hoops headquarters.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. This has been a strange free agency already, and players can't even agree to contracts yet. Well, they can agree. They can't sign them. They can't make them official till tomorrow. This is still what they call the legal tampering period. Running backs all over the place, getting cash. Remember last year they were having Zoom calls saying, like, we're not going to sign until we all get money. And then Tony Pollard, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs all got tagged, and it was a whole thing. Running backs weren't getting deals. Well, guess what? It was a different beast. was a different deal.
Panthers made another signing, by the way. Or for Nathan Warren, who's actually watching on YouTube right now, is very adamant. Like, hey, they made another signing.
Josie Jewell, is that what we're talking about? Josie Jewell, a Broncos linebacker, I believe. 3 years, $22 and change million with $7.5 as a signing bonus.
Evero was previously in Denver before coming to Carolina, so I'm sure there's a level of familiarity there.
I am so leery to say this out loud. He's a pretty good linebacker according to Pro Football Focus.
Okay.
I'm leery because I don't always understand how Pro Football Focus makes their grades.
There's also that.
Because a lot of the stuff they tend to judge on is stuff you can only know like what their assignment is. Like, was it a missed tackle? Was it a bad read? Or were you just setting your gap because that's what the foundation of the defense is and somebody else blew their assignment? It's hard to know. But it's better than being a horrendous linebacker on Pro Football Focus. It seems like this is how it's going for the Panthers. Based on that signing, A'Shawn Robinson earlier, another defensive player, interior defensive lineman who signed for 3 years. I think it's like $24 million, something like that.
Yeah.
If you want gigantic money from the Panthers, you better be an offensive player. If you want $100 million, if you want $50 million, if you want the long-term 4 or 5 year deal, go be on offense. If you want 3 years and 20 and change, you can be a defensive player. Like Dave Canales and Dan Morgan are looking at Evero and going, we're going to get the offense together, and we're going to cut a large slice of the pie for us to get the offense going. You could take the smaller slice of the pie and go get your defense going. Find some guys you've worked with in the past, right? Find the diamonds in the rough for us. We'd really appreciate it. And by the way, Dan Morgan is a defensive guy, obviously being a linebacker. So maybe he thinks, he can find the diamonds in the rough. He can find the steals and the steals and deals to make up for some things. So, that's interesting. Running backs getting paid. How about this one? How crazy, if we could go back, this would have been a fun one. If you could go back to the year when Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield were playing hot potato with the starting quarterback job.
Oh, God.
And I said both of them will be starters for other teams in 2024. And one of them would be making $40 million a year. One of them would have a $100 million deal.
I'd say someone's desperate.
So you're calling the Buccaneers desperate? They paid Baker.
No, if you would have told me this 2 years ago. Someone's desperate.
Sam Darnold got $10 million from the Minnesota Vikings.
Gosh, pays to be a quarterback.
Sam Darnold is going to have Justin Jefferson on one side, most likely. They're in contract talks, and who knows. But most likely, Justin Jefferson, maybe the best wide receiver in the league on one side. Jordan Addison on the other side, a recent first-round pick quarterback. TJ Hawkinson, who's, a top 6 tight end in the league, especially as a pass catcher once he's healthy, coming back off an injury.
Top 10.
He's going to have Aaron Jones in the backfield with him. He's going to have Christian Darrisaw, stud offensive lineman in front of him, left tackle. Brian O'Neill, pretty darn good offensive lineman, right tackle in front of him. If Sam Darnold is ever going to make it work, right, because there is, and you know what's actually happening here? The Panthers are getting a bit of what I call the Jets treatment, which is everyone that struggles with the Jets, the player gets less blame than you do at other spots. Like, if you're a quarterback and you're really bad for the Steelers, no one's like, well, the Steelers are such a poorly run franchise, right? If you're a quarterback and you're really bad for the Seahawks, no one's like, well, they have just terrible stability and it's dysfunctional. If you're really bad for the Jets, everyone goes, well, you didn't really have a chance. It was the Jets, right? They were just so dysfunctional, the owner, the GM, the coach. Sam Darnold got some of that, right? Sam Darnold got a decent return in a trade from the Panthers because everybody went, yeah, well, he didn't play very well, but he was playing for the Jets. What was he supposed to do? He was held back. It's an anchor. It's a weight around his ankle. Well, what about the Panthers now, right? Baker Mayfield just got $100 million. It's like, yeah, well, not that long ago, he was pretty $100 million contract. I know it's not all guaranteed, but not that long ago, he's pretty bad for the Panthers. Everyone's like, yeah, well, that was the Panthers.
Yeah, remember when he got released during the season and went and played 3 days later with the LA Rams on a Thursday night?
Sam Darnold is a starter. He hasn't done much of anything, right? He was backed up Brock Purdy. He hasn't done much of anything since playing for the Panthers. He got a starting job because everyone's like, well, yeah, I mean, his career hasn't been good, but he played for the Jets and the Panthers. What was he supposed to do? It's not a good spot if you are the Panthers and you're being compared in a similar fashion to the dysfunctional Jets. That's not where you want to be. Also, guards are getting paid all over the league. Do you know what I think is happening here a little bit?
What's that?
I think this is a reaction to the league getting Aaron Donald-fied. Aaron Donald, interior defensive lineman, little lighter, right? Freak strong, but little lighter, and a great pass rusher. So as the league tries to find their next Aaron Donald, interior defensive lineman getting a little lighter and becoming more focused on getting after quarterbacks, which means the 330-pound road grader offensive guards are going to be a little bit more effective just mowing people down in the run game and you know, really firing their hands, shooting their hands, if you will.
It's amazing how everything kind of corrects itself.
Exactly.
Eventually.
And then eventually we'll get back to like the Vince Wilforks who have to battle against the 330-pound interior offensive linemen, and then we'll go back to getting the Jason Kelce's and all the fast guys running around and making those interior guys work. It is very much a give and take. But the Panthers are saying, hey, all of you want to be Aaron Donalds that are 290 and want to play defensive tackle, welcome to the meat grinder that is Robert Hunt at 330 pounds and Damian Lewis, who's 327 pounds. He's the light one of the bunch. And they're going to come downhill, and we're going to give the ball to Chuba Hubbard behind them, and good luck. And right as soon as you start selling out and giving those interior defensive linemen help with linebackers and hybrid safeties in the box, that's where we're going to look to Bryce Young and say, hey, guess what? We have 4 guys in a route, and there's only 3 guys to defend back there. You can find the open one, right? And he's going to go, yep, that's exactly what I did at Alabama, where he was handing off to all the stud running backs at Bama, and it works out well for him. Guards getting paid. Never thought I'd see that, right? Tackles get paid.
It's amazing. We mentioned this earlier in the show, how the Carolina Panthers, they're three of their big signings so far, their first 3, 2 interior offensive linemen and an interior defensive lineman and a middle linebacker. Again, guys all in the interior of the field, guys who play between the hash marks.
It's an old school build. It is an old school build. It's like a NBA team saying, like, let's get a bunch of 7-footers. Let's go back to the basket. Let's throw up some hook shots. It's like, no, we're not going to be threes and layups. We're not going to be analytics. We're going to try to bully you. And let's see if, teams out there might not even be equipped to stop it, because they're so worried about stopping speed sweeps and West Coast offenses and, all these RPOs. Like, right, run-pass option is the soup du jour in the NFL right now. The Panthers are going like, no, we just want to run R's. We're not run-pass options. We're just runs. We just want to run R's. We used to call them carries, C-A-R-I. Call and run it. You know what that means? Quarterback, you don't have the option to audible, to check, no changes. I want you to carry this bad boy. Call and run it. Panthers are going to call and run it up the middle. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are nearing the end of the show, but I can't go all the way to the end without reminding you of my friends over at Capital Financial Advisory Group. And, of course, that means Coach Pete. Coach Pete has been revolutionizing the retirement planning game for decades. With his use of his GPI index, Coach Pete can help you maximize consistent growth, protect your money from year to year, and build income build an income switch. There we go. For you to flip on when you need to and you want to. With the help of Coach Pete's financial fill-up, you will receive guaranteed income for life, Even in the face of challenges like long-term care or losing a spouse, you will still receive that check. That is peace of mind. Let's go ahead and check them out. Capital Financial Advisory Group. Call them 800-691-3295. Let them know I sent you. Or text TIM, T-I-M, to 600-700. Again, that's 800-691-3215. Or text my name, Tim, to 600-700. Tomorrow, Dennis and I will be in D.C. giving you the latest from the ACC Tournament. And how about this? As I checked the score on the in-studio TV here, NC State has opened up a 6-point lead on Louisville. They were down by 12 in the first half. We're not even 5 minutes into the second half. They have a 6-point lead now.
15:30 still left in the second half. So a lot of time left.
A lot of time left to play, but you'd rather be up 6 than down 12.
Good point.
In a lot of different ways, it is a must-win game for NC State. There might be jobs on the line. There might be futures on the line, programs on the line. So they're playing Louisville, a team they should beat, and we'll be paying attention to see if they do, and obviously covering them in D.C. tomorrow if they win.
And if you're going to D.C., let us know, because we're going to be there tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday doing shows out there. Thursday is going to get a little bit different schedule-wise, but we'll fill you in on that tomorrow.
Overdrive up next with some of the free agency moves from the Panthers. Have a great night, everybody.
You call that a precision stop?
When a rookie stunt driver
Just give me a shot.
meets the trainer who thought he'd seen it all,
Come on, focus.
they'll soon find out that behind the wheel of the Nissan Rogue, with the power of VC turbo and the most fuel-efficient gas-powered engine in its class,
Watch this.
the protege can become a master. But this is no ordinary blockbuster. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Level up your drive with 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on the 2023 Nissan Rogue. Shop the Nissan sales event. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. Auto Pacific segmentation excluding hybrids and electric vehicles. 2024 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city 34 highway to 30 city 37 highway for 2024 Nissan Rogue. Actual mileage may vary. For well-qualified buyers, 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on new 2023 Rogue and dealer stock. Example, 60 months financing at $1,748 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and INMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 4/1/24.
Hey everybody, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel, and your wait is over, North Carolina. FanDuel, America's #1